is up? My shit's very loud.
Rest in peace, headphone users.
What is up, guys? This is Austin, and this is the All or Nothing Show. Today we got some special guests. Well, the typical boys down there, and then we got a special guest.
Griffin got put on the side.
It's nice to be here, man.
Ryan Coles. The Ryan Coles.
That boy can grow.
That boy can grow.
Grow or row?
Grow.
Grow. Gotcha.
You already know. It's that boy can grow.
God damn, this mic is pegged. All right. Well, anyways, we're starting this show off today with a good old-fashioned review, and today we're rocking Rockstar. And I picked these out because I don't think anybody's probably tried these. You tried these yet? This particular drink?
Never even seen it yet.
Me neither, I don't believe. And I guess we're on a summer shredding kick because we recently tried a thermogenic from Reign, energy drink thermogenic, and today we're trying this one. This one is their Thermo Performance Energy, 300 megs of caffeine, flavor Neon Blast. So let's go ahead and
gluten free. Thank God.
Goodness,
Yeah,
don't want to fuck my guts up.
You know, gluten's a myth, right?
Is it?
Don't quote me on that.
Is that just like same myth that you'll go blind with drinking moonshine?
I guess.
Government tells you
Never
that so
heard
that
I have heard that. I've heard
you going blind from something else.
I don't like how it smells already.
I don't think we're going. I will say
smells
though,
like
Neon Blast is a pretty cool name, man. Will I have neon guts after this?
I don't know what it smells like.
it reminds me of something very similar I've had before.
Yeah.
Pure
I'm
radiation.
gonna close my eyes.
Yeah, it's making your eyelashes flutter.
I know I've had something similar to how this smells. I'm trying to
Nani?
put my finger on it. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know
I
about
can't
this
tell
one.
if it's a drink or if it was a powder.
It smell like a big toe.
I don't know about this one.
Oh shit!
Nah, it definitely tastes like straight up powder.
I was looking at the mics and not listening to y'all, and now I just hit it. Whoa!
I don't
That
know
is a
what
not
it's-
very good sweet.
No.
It
It's
needs
like
some more. It needs some more gluten.
Like man.
It needs
Yeah,
to
So,
go.
like
yeah.
the first second is like this is promising.
Yeah,
and
I
then it
don't
just
taste
fades
any
to
neon
something.
blast. I
No.
feel like it's all neon, no blast.
This might be the lowest rated. This is worse than the Jocko one, I think.
It's not good.
No, not at all.
I don't like that smell I'm getting when I'm like actually drinking it. Like it smells like clay or
Chlorine.
something. Yeah,
Chlorine.
yeah.
That's
Well, it
it.
is summertime. Might as well drink some chlorine.
To me,
Ugh.
it tastes like
Yeah,
it
get
smells
prepped.
like it smells and tastes like gummy worms. Like if you just like licked like the side of like a gummy worm, but you didn't
But
get
like
to chew
a
it and get
great
the sugar.
value gummy.
Yeah,
worm.
Yeah, like great
The gummy-
value.
the gummy
Like
worm with the
lowest,
powder still on it.
The worst
Yeah.
level gummy worm.
The gummy worm where you're going to a gas station and it's like boiled peanuts and then like individually wrapped
Boy,
candies.
peanuts.
I've never had one.
Where-
It's just it's missing flavor for sure. It's like not full flavor. If you know what I'm saying, like it's like
And the flavor
almost
that is there, it's awful.
yeah,
It's not
exactly.
good.
No.
This might be the first one I don't finish.
Do not drink
Really?
Rockstar
Dude,
Thermal.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm gonna drink it, but
I think I'll finish it, but
Yeah.
Do you want to get shredded or not?
I know. It's for the game. This
Whatever
is
it
thermogenic.
takes.
All right, so
5%
on the show
mentality.
we do a little. Obviously, 0 to 10, 0 being horrible, the worst, and 10 being the best. I can't see this being anywhere close to a 10. Hopefully, it isn't for you, Ryan. But we do take into factors carbonation, finishing taste, and the way it sort of sits, I guess, overall flavor in the mouth, on the tongue.
okay.
So out of those three, collect them, give it a nice 0 to 10. Since you're a guest, we'll let you go first.
I will put this on the trash side of the scale, which would be 5 or below. This is definitely a 3. Would not recommend.
Respectable. Respectable.
Would not recommend.
All right, so I'll start. I guess on mine, I wasn't gonna go maybe 3, but definitely below 5. I'm gonna go 4 flat.
Yeah, I would. Oh, sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
I'm gonna give it a 2.6. The carbonation's fine. The flavor's just god awful. The smell was already like a red flag. The taste is not enjoyable. I'm tempted not to finish it, but I think I'll do it just because I just need to, and I'll get the little kick. Maybe it'll get me going for the podcast, but the flavor's awful.
Yeah, I would say probably a 2. Not very good carbonation. It sits on your tongue, kind of like the Isopure clear protein drinks do. And then the flavor is just Like you said, kind of like chlorine, like sweetened chlorine.
It just feel like an unfinished product.
Yeah.
It's like they got 3/4 through the way, and they were like,
But
nah, this
I
is
said
good.
Push that time.
I've said this before though, and I asked like who approves this stuff? Like who's like they're like in product
Order
management because like
$50,000 worth.
because we know
At
like
least.
what the sample process is like, and it's like who's tasting this is like, okay, let's move forward with this. Like you said, let's order 50,000 units. Like, why put out a trash product? I don't know.
They could have taken some more time.
There's no way more than one person actually enjoyed this.
Would you say it's better or worse than the Jocko one?
In my opinion, it's better. Jocko was horrible to me.
Jocko was bad, but it wasn't like it just had like a bad flavor. This is a bad flavor and it lingers in your mouth.
But I don't really remember off the top of my head if I went lower on the scale with Jocko's. But I'm going to go ahead and give a clarification on my scale. Is that this, even though I probably went higher, I believe, because I think I went low on Jocko. But anyways, regardless, flavor-wise, this is better. Overall, I think I don't know. I don't know how to
I'm starting
describe
to remember Jocko's.
Yeah,
and
I don't know how to describe
I think it's
it.
better. Like Jocko's is definitely better than this. This makes Jocko's look like a 7.
Oh, fuck.
No way.
I'm telling you guys, or I have to bring it back.
I mean,
It's
just to prove
trash
it right.
regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
no,
yeah,
those
there's,
are garbage.
yeah, there's no more needing to go on about this.
Yeah.
Rockstar, regardless, to me is hit or miss with all their flavors.
Yeah.
I feel like they're very cheap on their flavors. Like they don't.
Yeah.
All of their flavors taste cheap.
Yeah. I
They're a
feel
budget brand.
They're just like, here's caffeine. Go.
Yeah.
They're selling the can.
Yeah,
That's all.
exactly.
They're selling
Like,
the artwork on the can.
Rockstar, I feel like, is usually like the construction worker comes in and like gets a pack of cigarettes and a Rockstar to start the day. Like it's one of
Quick,
those
give him a
like
cigarette.
yeah, like okay, they're not going for like high quality.
There's
here.
definitely a genre of people for each energy drink.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
You're right.
exactly.
Like literally, think about it. Like I go work FedEx in the morning. If I wake up and I feel like trash, go to Wawa right around the corner. Go give me a nice either strawberry jalapeno rain.
You like that?
Dude, top
He
tier.
said nice.
I like a little bite to it. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
I remember you
I'm a man of
posted
the
it on
spicy
your
life.
story, and so that's
Yeah.
why when we got
We
it the
reviewed
other
it.
day, I was like, "Dang, maybe this is going to be good." Because I remember you posted about it, and it was like, I don't know, it wasn't
Now-
like it was bad. It was just like a very weird.
I
energy
feel like
drink
I feel
flavor.
like your expectation of what the strawberry and jalapeno were going to taste like, you were thinking of the actual fruit and vegetable. But when you got there, it was like cartoon strawberry,
Yes.
cartoon jalapeno.
Yeah,
it was.
But it was just for
Like
me.
a
I like it
caricature.
so much. Yes, I like it so much though because it has a bite to it. I've never had a drink that had lingering bite to it.
I
besides
said
alcohol.
when I had it that it was like the most unique flavor I've ever had in a
Yes.
liquid. Like I could just
Yeah, that's what- yeah,
like
that's what I'm
like
gonna
you
say.
sip it and it feels like you just bit into a jalapeno.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in like Willy Wonka's factory
Yeah.
when she tries that thing that's like.
Snosberry tastes like Snosberry.
Yeah,
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 exactly.
yeah.
It's a weird flavor.
But yeah, but like think about it. Like I'm going in there. I already know I'm getting the rain. You know, kind of jumped ship from, you know, the bang to the rain after a little bit of debacles in the world. But I like their flavor, especially the orange dreamsicle. Have y'all had that?
Very good.
Yeah, that one.
That's elite.
Had
That's
it.
top tier. If you haven't had it, that orange dreamsicle from Rain, top tier in every category. But it's like, but think about it. I'm going to get the Rain because I'm a gym guy.
Yeah.
But the construction worker who, smokes cigarettes and just show up, he come to get the Monster Energy drink. You know what I'm saying?
I will say, all 4 of them, I got for right over $6.
He went budget on us.
Yeah,
He
I
went budget
definitely
on
went budget. Because if I would have went with like Rain, it would have been like 12, 13. With this, it was 2 for $3. Well, 2 for like $2.89 or something. It was like, might as well just give them away. They were dirt cheap.
There was one.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I used to work at a Wolfgang's, my friend Frank would bring us like gas station energy drinks, and there was one called Venom that was like 99 cents that he would get.
shit.
Same
Oh,
size as
bites.
this, but it was almost like
That sounds like
acid.
trouble.
Yeah.
That sounds like trouble,
It was
man.
like
Yeah,
they
that's
got done with like making extra Clorox and like just dumped it in
I
like
feel like
LaCroix.
that's the one that gives you the BGs middle of the contracting day and the hot porta john.
Yeah.
No one, I don't know who genuinely likes LaCroix. I feel like LaCroix and that, what's that one?
Hey, hey, hey.
Pellegrino, whatever.
Yo, Don't tell
Sand
me.
P. Don't talk bad about
Garbage.
Sand P
I've
and
actually
LaCroix.
Garbage.
started drinking.
You don't
that.
have flavor.
Oh
You don't have
my
taste buds, dude.
God.
I need the
Carbonated
finer
water.
things in life.
It's
We
culture.
got a classy guy over
Look,
here.
I need the finer things in life. I want my water to be fizzy.
Yeah.
I want that
And
fizzy
have an
water.
essence
I
to
want
it.
that bite to it, baby. I want it to talk
I feel
to
like
me.
it's a can that is missing its soul. Like it's
Yeah.
like
It's
like
modern art.
It's like if you
box.
took all the flavor out.
Pandora's box of water. It's like, yo, don't drink that.
Yeah,
baby.
it's like
missing its soul.
the
No.
label on the LaCroix is like a Kleenex box, like the same aesthetic.
Yes.
If you ever see, like, you know how it's got that
That's what it
swirly
tastes like.
watercolor look.
Tastes like Kleenex.
Yeah.
I feel clean when I drink it. I would
The
agree with
bidet
you.
of
Yeah, I was gonna say
water.
if you're all into the finer things in life, do you have a bidet?
I need one.
have you caught?
I get
your
your
I know
interactions
you
about
get.
Did you get my forwarded
manis
email?
and petties, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
I don't get my
I'm
hands
kinda
done.
curious
I don't get
about
my
that.
hands done. I get my feet done because I can clip my fingers. The problem is I can't clip my toes right, and I fuck my toes up.
Yeah, and you always cut into the side.
Yeah, so it's like I kept getting ingrown toes. So I started doing it when I was in college and I was throwing for VCU. Was a shot putter, discus thrower for VCU, school record holder. Best ever do it. Just let you know. Just
Small plug.
a little bit of detail. But no, my feet made me money, so I needed to have my feet working right. If I clip my toes and I got an ingrown toenail, I can't stand on my toes for 4 hours a day. So I started going to the nice women of the nail salons. They like me. They say, "Oh, you're so big, so handsome." I come up in there, get my feet done, and it's great.
So here's the thing about me. I can't even touch my own feet without me like flipping shit. So I had imagined though, because I've had my hands massaged, and that's almost just as good as like a regular massage. If somebody can get in your hand, like so much tension's in your fucking
Think
extremities.
about how many nerves you have in your hands and your feet. Like, hunter-gatherers got to walk around. You got to be able to feel stuff. You can't go walk through sharp rocks and then, my feet don't work anymore.
Yeah.
I'm stepping on rocks all day. But, dude, think about it. Somebody breaking down all those nerves in your hand, releasing those knots
Yeah.
of tension, man. You're going to be feeling real good.
Do y'all get massages regularly?
No. I
I've
got
got
massage.
one lined up.
Exactly. That's why.
Yeah.
Like,
Gift card.
I'd rather take my little massage gun and jam it 5 inches into my
Yo,
leg.
speaking of massage guns, it pissed me off so much today. I have a client. She was talking about getting a massage here at Massage Envy. I said, first you're fucking up there.
No,
fucking
no,
up
no,
there.
No.
That's a no. That's a noob rookie mistake.
Checkmate. Noobs. Checkmate.
Do not go. Don't waste your money.
Not
well,
epic.
she said she went this last time, which is before quarantine, and dude man that she had been going to, she was like, hey, this time I don't want just a regular massage. I want like a deep tissue. He was like, oh, we don't do those anymore. And she was like, what do you mean? He was like, oh, but
People complaining.
well, that,
about
and then
bruising.
plus, I feel like dude was just lazy, or they're just getting lazy, or they just don't know what the fuck they're doing. He was like, but we have this gun that does deep tissue therapy.
Yep.
I said,
That's
that
garbage.
gun just tickles my skin. That ain't deep tissue. I got a hypervolt at the house. That thing doesn't even touch like my inner skin.
Dude,
Barely outer skin.
I got the massage gun from Vibe.
Yeah.
That thing go all the way up to level 6.
Yeah,
or
mine
something
too.
Like that. It's almost like that thing run on gasoline.
I'm not a
baby.
big
That
fan of
thing's
these
like-
massage guns.
But I mean, it feels good, but it doesn't hit deep tissue.
It needs to be in the right hands.
I guess
That's
so.
true. That's what I was gonna say. Like, I mean, it's just like a foam roller. There, like a lot of people,
Yes.
they think they can use it just because it's like a. I mean, foam rollers are cheaper, but it's a tool that anyone can buy, but it's not everyone knows how to use properly. So I feel like I've seen someone in the gym in between sets on bench press just pounding their chest and then back into another set just pound. Like, what are you doing?
That's the whole thing about, people. It's very easy to see people in the gym who know what they're doing and who don't, who took the time to do research. It's like, if anything, he's making himself more exhausted in between the set versus he's probably like,
He's
"Oh,
confusing
create
the
more-"
muscle for sure.
He's probably like, "Oh, I'll create more blood flow and I'll be able to do more, next set's going to be easier." Doesn't work like that, brother. Does not work like that.
No.
So
Breaking down the lactic acid.
yeah. No. But it definitely has to be in the right hands because, like, sometimes I can't hit that knot that's deep in between all 3 muscles of my quad unless I got a PVC pipe to foam roll on. That's what I need. I need, like, literally the hardest of the hard or the ones with the spikes on them to get down into these quads that I've developed. But it takes so much time.
Fucking A.
Time. If you already doing an hour and a half workout, do you want to sit down for another 20 minutes and roll on that foam roller? You don't, but you got to do it.
Fuck yeah. And I'm the worst at it. I'm probably the last person that needs to speak on it. But I do realize that like that type of recovery part of the working out and fitness is probably some of the most important. Is like rolling out, keeping those muscles mobility.
We talked about it before. I feel like where people kind of forget is they kind of skip the real meat and potatoes of recovery, which is sleep and like food.
That too.
And people kind of just skip over and they're like, oh, just shoot myself with this therapy gun, but then they forget about sleep or protein or just quality of food in general.
Yeah, it all comes full circle. Me, I will say, as a strong guy, and switching over to more aesthetics and bodybuilding, like when the workout starts to take longer, I stop taking care of myself as much. Now, I always put sleep over everything because I hate being a tired person. Yeah. I got a heavy body. Most of this year, I'm about 250. Got a heavy body. Takes a lot to move this body. You don't think about that in everyday life, but me, somebody's in tune with my body. I understand that. Why am I getting tired doing these things, what like normal person would do? Oh, we walked down Monument and we walked back. Now it's time for a nap. Why are you tired?
It's like you're wearing a 50-pound vest or whatever.
Pretty much. But it's like, but then you go and I go get my sleep. But am I going to stretch them hamstrings and them quads, that hip flexor?
Yeah.
No, sir. I'm going to get my massage gun.
Yeah.
And I'm going to beat it up. But it's like, you forget when everything starts to add up on you, man. But you learn from your mistakes big time because, dude, I will honestly tell you I did not stretch for like 2 months one time. And I felt like my knees were about to explode. Yep. My let's keep it simple. My inner thigh muscle was so tight that it was literally pulling my knee inward towards the middle of my body. And I thought that I was like having meniscus problems. Just the muscles tight. Mm-hmm. I sat down to stretch one day for 10 minutes and felt like a new man. Yep. Just because of one tight muscle, and I felt so stupid.
I've literally I swear up and down, and I haven't done it in a while on Instagram, but I for years had the worst knee pain. I always thought it was just from my wreck. I was like, oh, it's bad knees, but until I realized it wasn't, because I would stretch the shit out of my quads, I'd roll the shit out of my quads. It wasn't my quads. It was always my hamstrings. Always my hamstrings. And I think that's a lot of the problem for a ton of people because they sit at a desk all day, they're sitting in the car all day, hamstrings. Weak and tight, shortened hamstrings, and they go to squat or do anything like that, and their knees just get the blunt, Yeah. So
yeah, I never had too many issues directly from like mobility or like tight muscle issues just because I think I always worked a job where I was like on my feet. Like I worked at a gym for a while. I was always walking around on my feet. And when I'm a trainer, of course, I'm doing movements. And then when I worked at Wegmans for a year, again, I was in produce. So I was moving, boxes. I was always on my feet. And I feel like the majority of jobs, you're always sitting, in a truck driver, whatever it is. Like you're always in that kind of flex position where your hip flexors are tight, your hamstrings are tight. All that stuff gets tight. And I think people just, even if you don't exercise, which you should in general, but even if you don't exercise, you should be stretching those out because it does lead to a lot of long-term issues, whether it's your back or whatever it is.
Yeah, fucking A.
I don't know about you guys, but it's always kind of interesting to me to have some clients that are very sedentary or a little bit overweight, or they like go to get a massage and they're like, the massage therapist told me like I got so much muscle that's like tight and overactive in this area, and it's like, well, I don't know, like you're 30% body fat, so like, I don't know, it is kind of weird to me to just be like, is it really that much muscle that's like tight and like
that
immobile?
That one strand that got just locked
it's
up.
Like hanging on like a rubber band. It almost snapped.
That's fucked.
Hey man, don't be making fun of those massage therapists, man.
Well, the last time I went to Massage Envy, I was like, turn it up to 11, and the lady was like, well, like, you haven't had one in a while, so we're gonna go slow. And it's like, okay, well, this is a gift card, but I'm never coming here again.
Well, then let's do half off then.
Yeah.
Give me another lavender water.
Dude,
Another hot towel.
So they make some decent money for the minimum amount of work they have to do. I know clinical massage therapists that put in work and don't make the money that the Massage Envy people make. Because people don't really know what they want. They don't know what they need.
Or they go to a big box thing like that just because it's like, oh, I want
Therapy.
a massage envy or something like that.
They have the most ad spend.
They want that
first.
But the thing is though, like my dad is a culprit. He just whenever he say he want a massage or his muscles are sore and tight. My dad worked physical labor all his life. He just wants like the relaxing fluff and tough. He wants to be
the spa experience.
To be relaxed to sleep. I'm like, dude, you don't need that. I took that massage gun back home. I put it on his thigh. I literally put it on his thigh. I cut it on for 5 seconds. This man screamed to the top of his lungs and said, "No." He said, "No, I don't want to do that. I don't want." I said, "Dude, you have to do it until it stops hurting."
Is he built like you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
I'm like the more complete version of my dad. Like I got his frame, but I expedited the muscle.
I feel like that with my dad because I look like identical to him. I mean, Griffin, you've said him or you've seen him, and Maddie says the same thing. But like as far as like, I feel like I'm maximizing the genetics he's given me because I feel like he hasn't utilized his back or legs, whatever these things. So although I'm not blessed with like amazing genetics, I just feel like I feel like the same way. I'm like the more complete version of
exactly like
what these genetics could have been.
I look at me and my two brothers. I got an older brother, younger brother. We all have my dad's frame. When I say frame, I mean like skeletal shape, muscular shape. We all have the same frame, except my older brother's 6'4".
Yeah.
Then I'm 6 foot, but I'm 240. And then I got a younger brother who's 6 foot, but then 175. And we all have the same frame, but then it's like we're all different. Like,
It's like you're going through a 2K and you set the height and you keep going from athletic to scrawny to like...
Exactly. But it's so weird, dude, because like then you put my dad there and you look at all of us. I resemble my dad the most physically, but it's like all the physical labor he's done his whole life. Like he's like, I don't want to make fun of him, but it's like he's like built like Popeye.
Oh. Uh-huh.
He's like wrenches, turning wrenches all of his life, so his forearms are big. He has a big, strong upper back, and he got a strong powerlifting gut. He's not fat.
No legs?
No legs. It's not. That wasn't the thing.
My dad has like weak legs too.
It wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing. But he's not weak though. Like I took my dad to the gym one time. Every time I find some chance, and he has the energy to work out. My dad don't believe in pre-workout.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. But my dad he's pretty strong. He's pretty strong. Like just naturally. Over the years, just doing standard physical labor, I got the man, repping out 225 on deadlift, and if you think about it, for like the normal gym goer,
that's good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not picking up 700 like his son.
Yeah.
But that's good for
That'll
a guy
do.
who's never put 225 on a bar and picked it up.
Well, I'm sure like damn near if you can lift damn near your body weight, that's good for an average gym goer.
It's great.
It is always funny to me. Like my dad doesn't really lift that much in terms of weight, and like he does work out pretty regularly, but he's moved more into like body weight and kind of yoga stuff as he's gotten older. But he's got the dad strength to where like sometimes I try to challenge him and like wrestle with him or something like that, or like even working construction, man. Like he'll just like hoist something up to where I'm like, dang, I don't know where he gets the power
strong
from.
in weird positions. I feel like we're strong in like a leg press, a squat, or
like we go to pick up a couch and it's like, how can we optimally
functional things? Like when we had to get this dresser down from my apartment from when Maddie and I moved into our new place.
Hashtag functional strength.
Me, Austin, and Griffin, but had like a heart attack getting this thing, angling it. Griffin honestly was so calm and collected. He's like, "You guys okay? Do you need anything?"
I know.
And he's like on the bottom end of it, holding up like half of it. And me and Austin are like, just trying to like, just dripping in sweat.
Because, dude, it's awkward angles, man. It's just physics.
And also,
physics.
I call it. I worked with my older uncle for a while doing landscaping one summer, and I was bigger than him, but he was like, "Dude, I'll outwork you all day." He has a little gut on him. He was like, "You're all show no go, my man." I was like,
"Well, it's like it's funny though how like appearance doesn't always equal like conditioning or strength because it's like the if you guys keep up with boxing at all when what's his name beat Anthony Joshua Andy Ruiz or whatever. Yeah, it's just this fat Mexican dude. Like 290, just chubby dude. Looks like he's just pounding tortilla chips, and he'll box your ass off though. But it's funny though, a lot of these top athletes, or like D tackles or linebackers, just because they don't have abs or you know, whatever it is.
Speaking
they're
of
way more
boxing, do
functional.
y'all ever? This is like probably a mid to late '90s boxer, and he always did like intermission fighting. He was never like a big card. His name was Butterbean.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Butterbean.
Oh, yeah.
He was a
Butterbean.
fat
Oh,
dude
yeah.
that would knock your ass out quick. Though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That motherfucker could take a hit.
Yeah, you take a hit, man. That
He
big
almost.
No.
I'll pull him up.
Wait, do any of y'all watch anime?
I've seen a few shows.
Does anybody
and
watch
movies.
My Hero Academia?
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen
Okay,
it.
it's a superhero show where superheroes actually are blended into society as a job. And kids go to high school if they have abilities to become
It's like
heroes.
Sky High.
Yeah, Sky High but better.
Dang, I forgot
It's
that
Sky
movie.
High but better.
I
In
never
That's a
saw
Japanese.
good one.
In
Takes you back.
Japanese.
You never watched the Disney Channel movies?
Never.
But anyway,
God damn it, honestly.
there's a character on there's a hero on My Hero Academia named Fat Gum. Fat Gum. He's just like Butterbean on the boxer because he's this big fat dude, and the whole character building of him was that he can take a hit. He does not take damage.
Yeah.
Until he fights this guy who can output a lot of damage. But what happens is he took the damage and dished it back out.
Yes.
So it was like the plot twist of, oh, you thought he was just a fat dude. But then he actually can deliver. He was actually
Charging up.
an attacker.
So here's my relation, since we're talking about anime, and I've never saw it. When I think of Butterbean, I think of the pink guy off Dragon Ball Z, the
Majin
fat
Buu.
pink Buu.
Fat Boo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Boom. That's
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Fat Boo.
And that's who I relate Butterball to. I guess.
I never saw
Butterbean.
that show.
Dragon Ball Z.
I saw bits. I don't remember it.
Dude, it's
Past my time a little bit, or before my time.
y'all are breaking my heart because Dragon Ball Z is what got a many of people into bodybuilding.
For me, it
and
was
athletics,
Justice
anything.
League. The
Really?
Justice League show.
Big
Who
chest,
had-
small
who had-
legs.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
You're looking at it.
The epitome.
Every single
These are
male
for
character
aesthetics.
look exactly the same.
Yeah. The
Everybody-
taper.
Man, everybody doing nothing but pull-ups and shoulder press
Yeah.
on that show.
Who out of the Justice League?
Well, they all kind of were proportioned the
Don't you goddamn
same,
say
truth be
Superman
told.
either.
No, I always like Batman and John Stewart, the Green Lantern, the best. So
Okay.
I don't know if you ever used to watch that show,
Yeah,
but
I
they
watched
always
Justice
had
League
this
a
like.
little bit.
Oh yeah,
claymation
when they put them
intro.
back on Netflix, man, I went through and watched both seasons,
Yeah.
and it's like 40+ episodes each season. That was a good
Back
written
when
show,
cartoons had depth.
man. They had a lot of
Dead
depth.
serious.
They had a lot of
Everything
depth.
had
Yeah,
depth.
cartoons
back
were
then.
good back in the day.
They had an episode about the Flash hooking up with other freaking Justice League members. and
Talking
getting
about
turned
talking
down.
about really rare comic books. I saw it the other day because my dad bought it. I guess it had to be like over a decade ago for my brother when he was like 13 or so. But Static Shock.
Oh, I remember that show. I think that was on Kids WB.
Dude, he was a cool superhero.
I don't
but
remember.
I don't know if he was like in Marvel or DC or what. But it was
DC.
yeah.
What was his partner's name?
He was a smart
I don't
white
know.
dude.
So
Yeah,
was
it was
real
like
funny.
Scooter.
was
or
it Kenny? Or
Kenny.
something?
was that
was it
any
Kenny?
like so growing up like when we watched cartoons? Was that any like show? Like I don't remember that being like a show.
It was a,
Yeah,
it was
that
a
was
4-season
like-
show, 2000.
Yeah, for kids only. That was like its own segment, like a Saturday morning cartoon or a 5 o'clock
I don't remember
afternoon
ever
show.
seeing He had a
cool look.
Yeah.
I
Let me
always
see
him.
liked
Cool look.
his,
I don't remember what he
his
looked
little
like.
cloak thing.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever watched him.
I think he was
Dude,
just had
this
electric
show
powers.
has some depth in it, man. It's literally, I forgot what city they're in, but it's literally people got superpowers during a gang war.
Yeah, DC.
Shooting, it was literally a gang war. This dude got caught up in the middle of it on accident. They were fighting in a toxic waste, like
Oh, shit.
like a lot. It was like toxic waste everywhere, like gas.
Chemical
They
containers
have-
explode.
Yeah, they
releasing
have a
the
lot
gas,
of those
yeah.
in
Yeah.
superhero plots.
So they're literally shooting guns and flammable waste all around.
The
they
mutated
get
people
splattered.
become a metahuman known as Bang Babies.
Boom, there it is.
They banged.
And
Let's see.
that reminds me of the
it's pretty
game
depth, man.
Infamous.
It was pretty. It was.
I think
pretty,
the white
intense show, man.
best friend is Richie. Classic.
Richie.
Classic
Yeah, he
name.
was pretty cool.
Doug.
Rubber Band.
They had an episode about a school shooter and everything, man. That
damn.
shit.
They
That
saw
shit
it
got
before
deep.
Ahead of the
Dang.
times.
That shit got deep. It was
Damn.
yeah. It was like it's putting the realisms of like, yeah, you got all this power, but still, how does that translate to real world issues? You know, like
Did y'all ever
anybody could be a
see
hero.
the movie Chronicle? That was a
That,
pretty good
oh,
movie.
No.
It was. It had Michael B. Jordan and like these guys found this. It was like almost like a found footage kind of thing.
Oh, it was. Oh yeah, they all got telekinesis.
Yeah,
right?
and then one of them. It was
one of
almost
them
like
went ape
the
shit.
movie like Acura, similar to that.
I hate the fact that Griffin, for some reason, knows like 2 or 3
The
movies
weirdest
that I
movies.
do not know anything about.
No, Griffin
I
hasn't
like the
seen any of the good
esoteric
movies.
stuff.
He hasn't seen Forrest Gump. He hasn't seen Step Brothers. He hasn't seen any like major
Name
action.
it.
That's
Ryan
bottom
hasn't
of the barrel.
Let's see.
That's for normies.
Go ahead and throw one off top.
Have you seen the Avengers series?
I have, yes.
Alright.
Just because it's good to see in
But have you
theaters.
seen all the
Make me
movies though within the Avengers, not just the Avenger movies?
No, well, like Ant Man,
seen-
I
he
know
hasn't
what's gonna happen in
No.
Ant Man.
The
It's
worst
gonna
of
be
them all, Ant-Man.
I haven't seen that, but it's like he's gonna discover his powers. He's gonna fight an evil version of himself. He's gonna win. I don't need to see like the entry. Like I haven't
But
seen
it's about-
Captain
it's about
Marvel.
it's about the sweater threads, though, man. It's about the what they leave for the bigger plot.
Well,
you
I
know?
saw the bigger plot one.
I just jump straight to the end of the book.
Tough cookie. Just
Yeah.
like, just like my freaking best friend Matt. Matt, if you're watching this, man, F you for not watching everything before the freaking Avengers movies. This man went and watched Infinity War and Endgame, but didn't see none of the movies leading up to it. He's like, man, I gotta go back and watch these and
Oh,
figure out what
shit.
happened.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because I really haven't seen. I didn't see the second Guardians of the Galaxy, and
Very
then
good, by the way. You should.
the Ant Man's.
It
I
expanded the
didn't see
universe.
the new Spider-Man either.
That's
I
pretty
would
good.
still
That's
say
really good.
original
That's
Raimi
really good.
trilogy was my favorite Spider-Man's.
Hold on.
Okay, that
Black
shit came
suit
on,
Spider-Man.
I watched
So you're talking with not Jake Gyllenhaal. who's that one?
Tobey
Tobey
Maguire.
Maguire,
Really?
that's my
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
Toby.
I like that
Whoa,
Spider-Man.
I just had
series.
deja vu. That just happened. All that just happened. Wow.
The caffeine is sitting.
I think I think
Thermogenic.
It's the toxic vats
Right.
in this
Yeah.
thing. It's giving them superpowers.
Static
You
shock.
can see the future now.
I can see the future.
Well, anyways, most horrible. What's the girl's name out of the movie? Jane.
Mary. Oh yeah, Mary
Mary Jane?
Jane. Yeah, that was.
I
the,
hate Candace. Is her name Candace?
What's her name? That redhead
The redhead.
girl. I
Horrible.
forget her
I
name.
hate her as an actress.
Kirsten Dunst.
You know
Kirsten
what we've
Dunst.
been watching recently, Maddie and I, that I haven't seen the movies in a long time, and I don't think I actually saw the last two that came out. But the girl in it, she's a bad bitch, is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, the English accent.
Oh,
The
yeah.
English, but
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
here's the thing though.
Even with her
I
yellow
thought,
teeth
I
in that
thought,
movie.
yeah, I
Yep.
thought, oh, like
Thanks.
she might be, like in other stuff I've seen. No, she's in like one other movie that's just like a love story, like Pride and Prejudice or
Yeah.
something like that. But
I think her dad
she's
is
in
famous.
nothing else. But she's great. She's a phenomenal actor, and
She's
she
bad.
looks banging.
Got that attitude.
You know, she
Yeah.
was originally, I believe,
That swashbuckler mouth.
Queen. If you saw the first Star Wars, she was Padme.
She is in that. She's
with,
the fake Padme.
She was the same actress as well. They used two actresses for the role between that and Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman. Yeah. Well, in that scene, if you remember, it's like she's like the disguised like Natalie Portman or the disguised Padme, and they move the real actor.
I need to
That's why
rewatch that
she's
movie.
briefly in there, but she's not like. they
I
don't
need to
really
say
form
this
her.
here and now. They need to make a Darth Vader in his prime solo movie.
I want a
Darth
Darth
Maul,
Maul. Darth
yeah.
Maul. I'm a
Double
big Darth Maul
saber.
fan. Yeah.
Either
Gone too
one
soon.
Of them.
He's way gone too soon. Yeah.
You think about it, man. Darth Vader's supposed to be the most badass Sith to ever exist. He's
if
a
you
chosen
wanna,
one.
if you want to see it, there's a
I've seen
hardcore nerd YouTube. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I've seen it. They've remade the fight scene from the 70s in modern tone.
Yeah, when
and it's great.
When the new Star Wars
It's a deep
came
fake.
out, I got and I do this every time, is I get really into like the Star Wars theory dude on YouTube and just like
Yeah, yeah.
watch a bunch of videos for no reason.
That's all I
Turns
do
out,
all
yeah.
day is watch YouTube.
You know what the
Dude,
sad thing is?
YouTube's
Though?
a new
I haven't
Top
seen the.
10
haven't seen
bodybuilders
the
of
new
all
Star Wars.
time.
They're not worth it.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Keira Knightley, though.
I love how you knew her
is it
name.
the,
that ready, and you didn't look it up.
No. Well, I mean, from the Pirates of the Caribbean.
I know.
Do you feel like if you were to marry someone, would you rather have an English accent or an Australian accent?
Australian.
Australian seems more fun.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Siri
They
too.
say they have more. Yeah, same, exactly. I got the Australian series.
I-
It's like turn right.
Yeah, me too. I have the same.
I think
Right.
English is like a trashier version of Australian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Australian I feel like is more innocent. In English,
Yes.
it's like if you
Kinda
were
trashy.
irritated at me, it would be annoying to have
It's
to
like
hear it in
trashy
an
sound.
English
It's
show.
like, oh, you got a
You know what would be the
horrible
worst accent though to marry is like a Boston accent.
Oh
He
yeah,
sounds like a bitch.
Come get in the car.
yeah,
Smart pot.
Fucking
yeah. Did you not hear me talking to you?
You hear me talking? I want a burger.
I have not practiced my Boston accent in a long time, so I can't just freestyle.
Yeah, it is
Sometimes
hard.
I used to do a decent Chinese accent.
Let's hear it.
No,
Don't do it.
that's the problem.
Stop them.
It starts.
No
it,
stonks.
No, but for some reason, whenever
Stonks are dropping as we speak.
I know stonks, yeah. But anytime I try it nowadays, though, it ends up turning into like some off-brand Indian accent. I don't know how to do it
Michael
anymore.
Scott,
Keep it-
Chinese.
Yeah, it's bad.
Keep it at Bruce Lee.
I was just thinking
call
about
it
it.
Bruce Lee the whole time. Or Jackie
We
Chan.
tried watching Space Force with Steve Carell.
I haven't
It's
watched
not
it.
good.
Roommates watch
No?
It's not good. No, it has moments, but it's not that good.
It's like a
And-
forced comedy.
Yeah, and the problem with it too is you can just see the jokes coming away like in the mouth,
Yeah.
and it's not good. But I was thinking about how amazing like The Office was, and I was like, none of that show, like just the first episode where they have like the whole race cards and everything, would not fly nowadays. Not at all. They'd all get
No.
blacklisted instantly.
No, comedy was extremely affected by social justice culture. There are some good things, a lot of good things that come out of it. But when it came to comedy, like
They
you
even
gotta,
came after Dave Chappelle
comedy-
in his last special.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or the
that was-
first
his was
episode of
his was
Chappelle's show.
His was extremely intentional because
Yeah.
he was like the rogue warrior to stand up for comedy.
Yeah.
'Cause literally, comedy was dying because you can't say anything.
No.
Yeah.
Comedians are supposed to make light of the tough situations, whether we want to hear them or not, because
That's the one place where anything flies.
exactly.
Generally, yeah.
You have to understand that. But the thing is, though, is that people will do what they want.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
And if they don't like what you're saying, man, and you don't respect them, they know that a press of a button, they can end you. They can kill your ass.
Well,
right
that's
then
the
and there.
problem now. It's like it's not just like if you don't like it, don't watch. It's just like if you don't like it, then bend to my will, sort of thing.
Can't-
Think about it. Think about it.
Griffin is over
The
party.
cancel
Hashtag.
culture is like a digital Wild West.
It is.
Think about obviously now they said not as many people was dying in Blackwater, back in the day. But think about people just walking up in the saloon, slap shot somebody. Man, I don't like you. Bow, you're dead.
Draw.
Now it's like you can go to anybody, you can have a bad day, and anybody on the internet say something. I don't like you, man.
Or 10 years prior.
Oh yeah, they'll save that one up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Griffin think he's taking pictures with all these social media girls. I'm gonna set him up. So when he does something, boom, he's dead.
Yeah, that's true. And
But at the same time, everyone has a right to speak. They need if they need to express themselves, let them do as such. Everything will come to light. It lines up eventually. There's gonna be deep research. There's gonna be shallow research. But it kind of always lines up a little bit. It's like, are you doing this on purpose? Or are you actually... Okay, yeah. Just go ahead and do it. We'll keep it at a minimum.
Yeah.
did you? Oh, you're not finished.
I drunk the whole can.
Yeah,
I still got a quarter left.
I got a little bit left. I'm waiting for you to take your pee break because we always, alternate. But
Yeah,
I already
well,
hit
I
mine.
saw. I was about to say, man, you jumped the gun. I'm still holding because I don't want to
Yeah,
break the
you're
seal
holding
yet. Because
long a
next
little
thing I
bit.
know, I'll have to take 3 more pisses.
Yeah,
But-
you hold now.
Break that seal,
Right.
man. Break that
I
seal.
don't mean to just totally change gears and switch directions, but
Yeah.
you just got out of a wreck, man. Your life came to a close call. It sounded like.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much you can talk about it, but break it down. Like literally, just a few days ago, and you're somehow, just got some scrapes, some bruises, but you're here.
Yeah, what's the story?
Yeah.
Roll the B-roll footage.
Flashback.
Yeah.
Insert flashback here. So I drive for a third-party company for FedEx, and I got my rhythm. It's not a hard job at all, and it's actually pretty cool because I like jobs where you don't have any micromanage. Either I want to work my own job, or I want to be left alone so I can do my job efficiently.
100%.
And so it's pretty cool job, pretty easy. You see the funniest shit ever when you just out driving all day. I literally was at a stoplight one day, just chilling. I went to check the GPS, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just hear just a smack. I look beside me because I got my doors open. Some dude just nonchalantly just bumps the person behind him, and they're just like, they're fed up. Cause it's like, dude, it's literally 20 miles per hour in this area, and you literally came all the way up to the stoplight and bumped the person in front of you. So what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
See cats getting jumped. I'm out there taking a package, and I hear, and I look to the right. I'm like, what is going on? Cat's hiding under the car. Other cat comes and smack the shit out the cat.
Oh shit.
I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
It's a mating ritual.
It's 12 o'clock in the daytime. Why are you beefing?
Yeah.
Like, go do something. But anyway, yeah, very pretty chill job, and for people who like a change of scenery, it's nice to just drive around and do a real simple job. I lift weights for a living. Lifting the box is just lifting the weights during the daytime and getting paid too.
Reps.
Except, anytime somebody tells you to do something, you never really want to do it unless you want to do it on yourself. Anyways, going back to it. So I'm delivering my packages, man. I'm going to keep some of the story trim for legal purposes.
Perfect.
But I'm going to deliver a package that wasn't even supposed to be at our terminal. Wasn't in our route, but somehow made it on my truck. I'm being a good guy. I didn't have to take it. I go take it. On the way to me being a superhero, not having to, or having to go and take this package. The truck flips, and it was pretty intense. The thing I remember the most about it was the vibrations of the truck. I drive one of those box trucks.
I was about to ask, are you one of those people that they rent one of those like Penske trucks for? Or you're driving a legit FedEx truck?
I was driving the
With
legit
the doors
truck.
are like open, they're like off. It's like open.
Both doors slid open. Okay, while the accident was happening, I just remember the most of the truck just shaking because it's literally like you're driving a box. If the corner of a box hits a dip in the road, guess what it's gonna do? The opposite side is gonna go kunk.
Yep.
And then next thing you know, you're just bouncing around on every edge of the truck. So what I remember the most, man, is just getting shook up in the truck of just the wheels hitting every bump, everything, and I'm just bouncing around in the truck. And I just remembered, oh my God, this thing is about to flip. I'm literally in this situation right now. Never ever thought I would be in this situation. And then but literally, I think Jim and Muscles saved me. If the truck had flipped the other way, would have been dead, 100%, or extremely mangled because the doors were open. I would have fell out the truck. The truck would have fell on me and slid.
Would that have been the driver's side if it flipped that way?
Driver's side. I would have fell out of the truck, even with the seatbelt. I would have fell out of the truck. Truck would have fell on me. But the truck fell to the left. So luckily, I got a nice, 25 miles per hour, 5-foot fall straight to my right side. You can see I got, forearm a little, swollen up, wrist kind of busted up still, can't really do nothing with it. Got some nice tribal tattoos from the road rash. That was pretty intense.
Taken out.
With a lot of blood, man. There was a lot of blood and it was weird. But it's like while the truck was flipping around me, I was literally doing a pull-up on the steering wheel while the truck was rotating around me. So all I see is metal spinning around me. And the whole thing going through my head is don't hit your head because you're going to die. Don't lose a leg that's going to go out one of the doors.
Ooh, I need to squat.
And don't get dislocated or a broken arm. And that's literally all happened. Like the thing happened in 1 second. It literally lasted 1 second. But in my head, dude, when that stuff's going on, your brain goes at 1,000,000 miles per hour. So literally everything slowed down for me. And I could see the dirt coming up off the ground. I could hear the window crunching in slow motion. And then it's like, boom, then everything's done. I'm looking, I check my legs, still got my feet, still got my legs. I'm looking, still got my fingers. I can move my fingers. Didn't hit my head. And I'm like, whoa. I'm alive. And I'm like, whoa, we're good. I look, man, it's all dark in the back of the truck, dirt, dust flying everywhere. Some guy came out of nowhere and was just like, are you okay? I had to walk through the front windshield of the truck. The windshield crushed and exploded outward, and I came out through the windshield of the truck after it was over.
So you were not driving, or you were?
I was driving.
I'm trying to think of the layout of the truck then.
So it's
because I almost think of a mail truck.
Space. No, there's space. So I'm sitting in my truck, steering wheel, and then there's a bunch of space beside me.
Gotcha.
The truck fell to the driver's side. So I fell into the space. And I got so lucky that it fell that way. So it's basically it felt like I was being tackled. I was standing still in the football field, and I got tackled by a NFL defensive lineman,
Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis,
Brush it off.
linebacker, blitz, straight to the house,
Yo.
and he cut my ass, and but I got up, and once I realized I wasn't dead or mangled, I was like, whew. I just wiped it off. I said, we're good, and we walked out.
Did you deliver the package?
No, F that package,
Didn't
man.
finish the job.
They probably called and
Someone's still waiting.
complained.
Where's
If
my
that's
package?
if that's the biggest thing
So
I got out
that's
of
why
it,
my
I told,
FedEx
Yeah.
is late.
That's why I told all my people. I was like, man, if y'all got that pass, don't deliver that shit. Say, go home, man.
Bad luck with that shit.
Go home.
Did it surprise you at all? I don't know if you ever think about this when bad stuff happens or when sudden stuff happens. Did it surprise you at all? Like, were you quieter than you thought you would be? Like, picturing a situation like that, I almost feel like you would think that you would be like, or something when it was going on. But were you quieter than you thought you would be? Or did you kind of, I don't know, sometimes when I've gotten in a car accident or something, I've kind of been like, oh, versus, you know, if you get smashed, you'd think you'd be like,
I was more
like that.
disappointed that I was in the situation at all.
Yeah.
I was like, God dang it. I was like, why would this happen right now, man? Gyms open up tonight, and I would get in this bullshit. And
Yeah.
but it's like, I was cussing like a sailor because I was pissed off that I was in the situation. And then I was like, and I know, again, it's happened all in like 1.5 seconds, but it's just everything, your thoughts just expedite, man. And I was like having all these thoughts at one time. I was like, all right, let's try not to die. Let's not run through these people's house. I'm in midair. I'm in midair. Let's see what's going on. And then is boom, hit the ground. Fuck. Oh. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm good. I'm hurting,
Yeah.
but I'm good. So like I stood up, and like the first thing that happened is just like I couldn't even help it. I was just like, oh. And I looked, but my mind space, I was good because I realized it could have been much worse.
Yeah.
Could have been,
True.
could have been shredded cheese underneath the truck.
Oh, man.
Are
It
you,
was people everywhere. I was in the neighborhood. It was people everywhere.
Dang.
So it was like little kids coming out scared as ever because I'm like just dripping blood all down my right side. Like people never seen that kind of like violence or anything, or like just gore and blood. Nobody's really seen that in person. So when they see it, they're terrified.
he's on bath salts.
Shoot him.
Yeah, put him down.
Yeah, but no, man, the people all around the neighborhood were great, man. They had people coming out the houses, directing traffic away, making sure I was good. And I was like, yeah, I'm good, man. Like, fuck that truck and that package. We good to go over here.
Were you, are you like motivated to do anything different now? Like, do you feel like you've given a second chance or
Dude,
anything?
For the past couple of days, man, I've just like, as soon as I wake up in the morning, just smile on my face immediately. Like, I'm just like, dang, man, it feels good to be alive. And I almost felt guilty because it's like I was just talking to my friends like 30 minutes before that even happened. I'm like, stopped in somebody's neighborhood, just delivered a package, just chilling real quick because it's hot. It's like 90 something degrees that day, or like high 80s, and I was just like, I just sent them a snap. Like my boys would have just got the last Snapchat ever from me, and then next thing you know, they're at a funeral 3 days later.
Yeah,
They'd have been like,
that's
I was
true.
just talking to him.
Yeah.
He was good, and I felt so guilty for like, I don't even know how to say it, but like not giving them time to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Like it's almost guilty. Jack. I was like, you're gone already. You didn't even like. It's just hard to explain, man. But it's just like, I was like, man, just safety. There's people who care about you. So it's like, do your best so you don't cause them heartbreak. I know it's bigger and you could have lost your life and all that stuff, but think about how many people it actually affects outside of just you. And so, what I've gotten out of that, man, it's just like taking it more. I already took safety, pretty serious like that, because like as a, physical person, my whole number one thing I tell everybody, don't get hurt.
Yeah.
Don't get hurt.
Pretty simple.
Don't get hurt. And if you're already hurt, don't get more hurt. And so it's like, I already took safety seriously, and it's like now it's just much more important. Like, there are people who care about you, and people's lives are already affected by you more than you even know. Dude, I had people coming out the woodworks I ain't even talked to that was like, dude, I just saw your thing, like, are you okay? Do you need anything? And I'm just like, dang. I was like, who are you? You know what I'm saying?
I have
But
to get wrecked more often if these people care about
no,
me.
no,
Yeah.
man, let's not,
Any,
let's not do that. Do not
Any
recommend.
fine honeys offer to bring you dinner and
Yeah.
take care of you?
I will admit,
No quarantine
Yes.
bunnies.
yes, but more talk than action. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
Ah.
But it was nice. It's nice to know that people would be willing to put themselves in that situation to help. So it was good to know that I got some people in my corner.
Yeah.
Dang.
Dang.
That is wild, dude.
But we here, baby.
That's right.
We're doing good. We're on the All or Nothing show, baby.
Live to fight another day.
Live to lift another day.
Fucking A.
Because I don't want to fight.
Well, speaking of lifting, man, so like, obviously we've known each other all of us have known, each other for some time now. How did you sort of get into lifting? Like a brief overview and like, what are some of your goals that have been recently before the wreck, obviously, of like getting back into the gym? What are some goals that you had set for yourself and whatnot? What do you still have set for yourself?
Cool. So my motivation came from bullying and anime. Okay, Dragon Ball Z, one of my favorite anime. Even though these days everybody breaks it down and like it's not that good of a show. It's just yelling and muscles and explosions. Hey,
What more
baby,
could
I like
you
that.
ask for?
Yeah, I like that.
What else do you need?
No, that's motivational. But for me, it was more so that like anime. Watching that growing up, they're always very motivational and positive and about overcoming issues. Like you have it in you to be better.
Yeah.
It's just what does it take? What knock on the head does it take for you to be better? And that's what I get from it. Even still to this day, it's about overcoming your issues. Because I was like a chubby kid, had asthma, allergies, big time when I was young. Was always athletic. Unknowingly to myself, had a fat kid running faster than the fast kid, or whatever, or the kid that's, to be the most athletic kid. How are you keeping up? But then you're done because you got asthma and you can't freaking breathe. But like, yeah, growing up, man, was a chubby kid. The sneak disses and everything is always about being the fat kid and all that stuff. Even some kind of, even the family even talking about your stuff and they may be joking and stuff, but it hit hard.
It bites.
So like, and the thing that triggered me to get into it, I tried out for football. I played it once at Pee Wee when I was in like third grade. Took years off, gained a whole bunch of weight. I think I was like 230 or something, like seventh grade. I was like 5'8", and I was like 230 in seventh grade.
Fridge.
And yeah, man, but useless fridge at the moment.
Fuck.
I tried to start working out with my older brother. He was in high school. He was pretty decent football star. He's 6'3", 230 in high school. That's a grown man. That's a man child. But he was lazy, and he didn't want to do nothing with that. So I tried working out with him, meeting the football coaches and stuff like that. Dude, the first time I ever benched, I benched 135 when I was in 7th grade. First time ever. Maxed out the first day. And because it was like maxed out days, find your stuff. I maxed out on bench 135, back cramped up, hamstring, everything cramped up because I'm doing the freaking the left side first, right side, second bench, and then all that stuff. But then also I squat maxed at 135. So that don't sound right.
The legs ain't there.
But I thought it was so cool because of the weight that I was moving. And then the second day came and I was sore as a bitch and couldn't move. And I didn't know that was coming, so I never came back to the weight room that summer.
It's like, fuck that.
Literally, I had one day, I think I worked out for like a week, got sore, hated it, never came
I
back.
remember first leg day I had, I was sore for 4 days, like bad sore.
Yep.
I was like, Jesus
And
Christ.
when you don't realize that's part of the process, you don't like that. You see it in all your clients. You see it in everybody comes to the gym. When people think coming to the gym is a hassle, they don't know what it's good for.
Nope.
They have no clue. And that's why we're here to tell them.
And it's so weird how it's flipped. I truly crave to be that sore.
Yep.
Because it's
Yeah.
hard to get that sore.
I've been
anymore.
excited
Exactly.
since we've been back in the gym. Like,
Yeah.
with the equipment I have in like my parents' garage, and we've been having pretty decent workouts, I would say. Maddie would talk shit, but me and Griffin been having good workouts.
Yeah.
But it's not the same though as when you have full access to the machines, the cables, and
Yep.
like especially certain muscle groups you can't attack and overload the same way.
Yep.
So like first day back, like the hack squat just tore up my legs, and then you feeling it yesterday from Saturday's workout with doing an incline dumbbell press and like a cable fly. It's
Yep.
like my whole chest just feels like it's tore up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
it's
can't wait to
been-
feel that.
Definitely, it's been like a and we were saying that the other day too, of just, it's nice, after all the quarantine now, to come back in and have an appreciation for each of these movements, that it doesn't just feel like, oh, another day, another day of my program or this or that, and to kind of grind through again. It's like, man, I've missed this feeling, or man, I forgot about this mind muscle connection on this cable row, or other things like that.
My first day, I guess, which was what, Friday? 3 hours.
Nice.
Ooh. That man made it last. He chased the pump.
Sweet love.
And was it
Sarah's like, where's that when I need it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Was it a 10 p.m. or was it a different time?
Oh no, that was
of day?
a decent time, midday.
Good.
Yeah.
Got 2 meals in you, wide awake.
yeah.
You can go into the workout.
Like went to war.
Yeah. And it's like, but still, yeah, man. But like continuing off of that, like even so, doing football, I went. So it's 7th grade. I'm trying out for football for the first time again. And, everybody's starting to grow up, hit puberty and stuff. There is a gap between who's good, who's not. And then, like, I didn't make the team. Literally, the first day of practice, my mom made me cinnamon rolls for breakfast. She was like, you're going to need some energy when you go out there and play on the field. And I was like, me, fat kid, love sweets.
Sweet.
Ate them cinnamon rolls up, ate about 6 of them. My older brother was like, man, you ain't going to want to do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, I don't know nothing. Dude, get to football practice. He's like, all right, warm up lap around the field. Let's go. I've never ran a whole lap around a football field ever at this point in my life. I can't even, I'm running like 15-minute miles.
Yeah.
I cannot do it. I forced myself out of embarrassment to run that whole entire lap without stopping because I'm like, dude, I can't. This is embarrassing. I can't be the dude who can't even run one lap.
Yeah.
I forced myself to. That was my first time going beyond my limit. Forced myself to run that whole football field. It was like 85 degrees at 8 a.m. in the morning. We get one lap around the football field done. We come in line to formation. We start doing jumping jacks. I start throwing up everywhere. After one lap around the football field, the coach got to walk me off the field to my mama because I'm throwing up after one warm-up lap.
Varsity.
I remember when I only played football 1 year and I was in 5th grade, and I was a little chubby at the time, but I wasn't, too crazy. But I just remember how brutal sometimes those runs are, and you get all the equipment on too.
Yeah.
And,
I will say running really is one of those things that I feel like you can see how far past your kind of mental failure that you can actually go.
Running,
Yes.
I've gotten not very much into it, but like when I was training for the 10K, and that was like the first legit run I'd ever done, I was running like 3-4 times a week, like 6 miles, and even now I try to just at least keep one run in per week. And I feel like it's so interesting. I have a friend that ran cross country D1 at like William Mary, and the way it is like you said, it's such a mental fortitude because you want to quit after 5 minutes. Like you're already then you're past kind of like your excitement for the run or your motivation for it, and then you just have to push past because the difficulty and the fatigue you're facing on like the first mile is the same at like the 4th or 5th. If you're somewhat trained.
Yep.
And so it's really just like embracing the suck and just having that kind of, I don't know, elongating that suck. It's the same feeling as like when you first do leg extensions and you feel that burn and you want to stop when you've never lifted before, but really you get another 10 reps in you.
Yep.
That's how I try to describe it to people. And it's like, right now, I know my limits with lifting, but with running, it's like I don't understand my limits and I quit on myself earlier than I need to, or when my body would really fatigue or quit. So that's like the struggle I've kind of had to come with, is like pushing past that moment because I know I have a lot more in me. Now the hard thing is with lifting, if you have a lot more in you, it's like an extra couple seconds, couple reps. With running, it's an extra like 20 minutes that you have to like deal with and hate. So, I don't know. That's my experience with running, but you can go on.
Yeah. No, running was definitely tough for me, especially being like overweight.
Yeah.
A lot of my weight sits on my upper body and my chest and nipple line area. So as a kid, that's just sitting on you. You don't have any kind of base or muscle to help you just spread everything out. So I just remember the pain and my lungs when I used to run back in the day. I'm talking about, dude, death. I felt like death every time I ran. But then you do it more, get a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I remember it, but anyway, I don't make the football team in 7th grade. crushed my soul. That's the first time I've ever felt emotional about sports, anything like that.
Were you playing? Were you playing any other sports besides football?
Never. Never before that. I didn't, but then after I came back and, this is when the anime kicks in, I'm like, man, I'm going to work harder than ever before. And then luckily my boy, TJ, he used to live down the road from me, 1 mile. The football coach used to pick him up and take him to the weight room in the morning. And he said, dude, you should start coming with me. Yeah, I don't know, man, because I remember that soreness.
Yeah.
But eventually I start going with him. Next thing you know, the soreness is fun. It's hilarious because everybody goes through it. Somebody's sore and he throwing that, that index finger in the pec and his, or in the shoulder, and it's hilarious. We start getting better. Come back, then I start dominating in middle school football. I end up getting defensive player of the year, man. I was a nasty D tackle in middle school. Nice little fat dude, nice little explosive fat dude, man. Get through the line real quick, make a play. And but after that, that's what the momentum was that kicked off the train of who I am today. I began to love training. It made me feel good. It made me feel like I was becoming those characters that I watch on the show. I was doing just like them. And it just felt like everything just felt like it was becoming right. I felt like I was doing what I was supposed to do. Then the strength started coming, started feeling like I was decently strong, or a little bit better than everybody else. Played varsity for 4 years, started every single year. Well, we were trash. Went to New Kent. All right, we was garbage. Coaching was system. Did not work out. We had and there's the weird part about it. We were successful in every other sport except football. Basketball, state runner, state top 4. Track, state top in the state, AA state. Wrestling, 3 years district champs, 2 years regional, 2 years state. And then all those people will come together on the football team and go 2-8.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Dog, we was bad, man. We was
Different
bad.
physicality, though.
Did you dabble in wrestling at all?
Oh yeah, man, I was good. I was good, baby. I went to states every year.
Dang.
Now I choked.
Oh, okay.
I choked. I would get sick because New Kent's wrestling program is a top program in this whole state of Virginia. Don't matter what league now. And to build that, the coach had to put us through the grinder. They didn't believe in, they didn't know rest weeks and they didn't know, periodization and stuff like that. It was just fucking wrestle your ass off all the time. 2 miles before practice, go. Go do 2 miles, come back. Now we're going to practice for 3 hours. And then that is all paid off for the program. The program's the top program in the state. And, but my body would not respond to that training throughout the whole year. You can't be at your best the whole year. You're supposed to slowly peak up to your best, taper back down, then peak back up again. We went full throttle all year, and then when it got to the last damn week of the season, I get sick. I would get sick on the bus ride going to the state meet and then be just useless at the meet. A lot of it was mental, too, being on that big stage. I don't know if you ever been to a wrestling tournament, but especially at the big ones, it's literally 4 mats just taped together, and then they're just crowd everywhere, everybody yelling. You don't even know who's looking at you. Everybody could be looking at you because you could be the only match going.
Yeah.
And it's pressure,
It is wide open. There's nothing around it. It's almost like a desert. You're out there in the middle.
And it's very intimidating. But yeah, I choked every year I went to states, man. I mean, the best I did ever was my junior year. I was in the pigtails. So the pigtails is the match before the actual tournament starts because there's a surplus of people in your bracket. It's you have to do an early match just to get into the bracket. And for some reason, I had to do that match. I ended up wrestling and winning all my matches to semifinals. I lost to the guy who won it. So I lost 1 match, came back, and then won 3 more matches just to get third in the region. So basically, me and the guy who got second had the same record at the tournament. So that was my best accomplishment in wrestling ever, and I felt great that day.
Yeah.
But it's just, I always thought I was too cool to wrestle.
Wrestling is I don't know. I actually tried, or I was going to one year, because I wasn't into football. I grew up playing hockey. Well, I wasn't really into football. I was like, I still need to play a sport, though. I want to, get stronger, whatever. This was maybe like 6th, 7th grade, and I was going to dabble into wrestling. But I think for some reason, the day I went to go sign up, they had like something go on to where I couldn't make the team in time. I didn't have a physical something. I don't remember what it was, and then I just pretty much gave it up after that. I was like, fuck sports. I'm not going to play.
Wrestling's a brutal sport because I was going to try it too because there was this one kid that was like kind of strong for being like in 4th or 5th grade, and I was like, I'm going to try wrestling. So I went and, first day went kind of fine. I actually, for never wrestling in my life, did pretty good against the people who had been doing it for a few years. But then like the second class, I had this really fat and sweaty kid, and he got on top of me. And I just couldn't, I didn't have any skills to get up from that.
I'm done.
And I was like,
scratch, freeze frame. Yep,
yeah,
that's
me. That's me right there.
Probably wondering
You're wondering how I got here, yeah. And it was the most uncomfortable and gross thing. And me being like,
it is disgusting.
If you're not used to those uncomfortable like situations, and I was pretty much like a pussy for the most part until I got older and started lifting and got more mental fortitude. But I was like, this isn't for me. I told my dad, I'm like, nope. Not going again. I was like, that's pretty much it. So that was the end of my wrestling career. But
yeah, dude. Like when I went back to support my team, like I said, New Kent is a winning wrestling team. They winning, every single year. So it's like when I went back after wrestling, because it's gross, man. You got to bleach balm the mats just so you don't get MRSA,
herpes,
ringworm, mat herpes, everything, man. I went and looked at these kids, man. These kids are pale from being malnourished, trying to cut weight. Because they don't know how to cut weight. They just stop eating and just drinking water and spitting in a cup. They're literally doing like bodybuilders, but even less healthy. Because getting ready for a show, you're literally killing yourself, But, dude, wrestling.
And the worst
was
part
gross,
too, I feel like
man.
for wrestling is they'll do that like a week out or like days out. They try to cut so much.
Oh yeah, and then they go and they lose that match and not realize why.
Sauna 3 hours every day for a week and a half straight
with a sweatsuit.
Yeah.
Underneath your school clothes, dying in math class.
Yep.
Literally, dudes were looking pale. And the week after wrestling's over, they're vibrant, their skin's glowing again. It's like, dude, you were like wall paint white last weekend, and now you're tan and full of life. Like, that don't seem like it's wrong to you.
Soul
like
had almost left.
But it's just crazy looking back on it, man. I remember the worst thing I got like ringworm on my head because of my wrestling partner. Because of him. He was the unsanitary one. And he was just try hard, and he pissed me off because he would always beat me because he was a try hard. But the thing is, he would piss all of us off because he wouldn't wrestle against other people, like the people he competed against. He wouldn't wrestle like that when he wrestled with us. He was super try hard wrestling with me, but then he'd go and his whole entire style would change up, wrestle somebody else, and it was exhausting. But he's a good guy, and he has a kid now. He has a kid. He's doing all right. But yeah, man, the high school sports went great, man. I realized I was a little athletic. I would do football, wrestling, and track every single year, and it was more so for football. I had made my mind up I was gonna play football in college, and I was like, I'm just gonna use wrestling as track as conditioning. As everybody would always say. Everybody thinks they will go to college, play football, make it to NFL, and all that stuff. Don't do it. Don't do it. It never ends up like the way you think. But I eventually started getting better at everything else, more than football. I found out I was really good at throwing because, I almost broke the school record, when I was, 14 years old or 15 years old. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? I might got a little knack at this. And then, end up going to VCU to throw for Coach Tusing as a walk-on. They did not. The program is not fully funded. The men's track program not fully funded, and so I went as a walk-on because I said I'm going to be a Division I athlete. Now, the funny part about it is I met my future teammate at a track meet in high school, and he obliterated me. Like he was one of those national elite guys. Dude named Brandon Ruffin, man, love the guy, man, one of my best friends. This man whooped my ass so bad in high school track. It wasn't even funny. I was like, what am I getting into? I thought I was good.
Yeah.
And there's people out there that are still, leaps and bounds better than you. And but I like that. That's the anime coming back.
Yeah, well, you need that.
I'm going to grind and I'm going to overcome and be better than this person. So literally, like my senior year in summer going to college, I worked my ass off, and Q80s montage, right now, and leveling
Rocky.
up. Yeah, and it's like, but then I got to college, and because of the will of wanting to compete against somebody that's better than me, I got to college on par with this, with this monster that I've never seen before, but then it synced up, and we started getting better together. Like, dude, it was a beautiful thing. But like, we can skip through all the, college track stuff. Ended up, being decently strong. I made the VCU top 10 bench list. I was like number 2 for a while. I think I'm like number 3 or something still.
What's number 1?
405.
What do you mean?
I feel like that's not that
405
much.
was the
For
number
one
1
rep.
bench, 1 rep max at VCU. It is 405 bench was the number 1 by any student athlete that's came through since they
Is
started
it
tracking.
paused? I imagine it's not.
It is, depending on which sport you were, that's how they judged it. Us as throwers were basically like athletic powerlifters. So we got judged super hard in the weight room. So like the head strength coach would come through, and he would like be watching us really hard. He had high expectations for us. But then you see the sprinters come in and come max out. They doing quarter squats and shit, or like half squats, and it's explosive and fast, but nobody going down, past parallel. I could be mistaken, but from what I saw when I was there, it was a little biased when it came to throwers, lifting, and then the sprinters, jumps, everybody who wasn't a power lifter lifting. But yeah, man, I benched 380 or something like that my senior year. So I was the number 2. Then one of my former teammates, Sean, dude from fucking Philly, drinking water and all that stuff. He came in, nice little stubby arms and everything like that, little javelin thrower. He got 385 up by his senior year. That pissed me off, but it's good because that just means the program was getting better.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I loved lifting in college. Had some great strength coaches, and it became like an addiction. Like it was part of your personality. Do y'all ever feel like that? Like the lifting is part of your personality of
It is now,
getting
yeah.
better, and it's like you need it to function.
But that's like, for me, it's my outlet to push myself. Like almost like, I guess, with runners, they push themselves with trying to run even further. That's what keeps me competitive, I guess, with myself now.
Yeah.
Besides business and like trying to grow my business, that's one thing that like keeps me grounded. Every day I'm like, man, let me see how much further I can go with, this rep or that lift or whatever. Or let me just see how much I can break my body down, kind of.
It is quantifiable.
Yeah.
It is a good measure of willpower and, actual physical power. And that's why I love it so much. But so basically the story of me being in college is just showing like how my lifting, I was a strong guy. I was a power lifter type lifting. Getting out of college, I did internships, my senior year at the weight room RVA, the strongman powerlifting and weight room and weightlifting gym over in Scott's Addition. And the owner, Chris, I was just interning through him and learning stuff about strongman and stuff. I was going to get into strongman after college, but then I realized how random it is, and I did not feel like going through that process and having to learn all these new lifts like the circus press. I had bad joints and stuff after throwing for 10 years, and like yoke stuff and all. It's just.
So what is your current training like, or what are your current goals as far as training? You looking to compete again? Because I know you did a bodybuilding show like a year and a half ago.
I did do the Jay Cutler Classic in Richmond last year. That was my first bodybuilding show. Bodybuilding is a very interesting process, and it's a new challenge because you don't have to be athletic to do it.
No.
This is the sport that brings everybody to the same level. And some people take a little extra, little magic helps them get where they need to go, but it's still a sport that your work is going to show on stage. How much you put in is going to come out.
I always think it's a unique sport in the way that you there's no time off. Like, there's not like you put in your training, you put in your diet. Like, it's everything from your sleeping to your supplementation or your, roid use. All this stuff is regimented to where it's completely, like, on, especially when you're prepping for a show. There's no, you don't just go to practice, come home, and you can do whatever. It's constant with your eating habits, your hydration, and of course your training. All of that, I feel like it's a sport where there's no time off.
It is no time off. Your life, if you're going to do bodybuilding, your life has to be bodybuilding.
Yeah, at least from an elite standpoint.
You have to be selfish if you actually want your goals, you want to show up on that stage and you want to look good. Because if you don't, you want to be the person on stage that doesn't look good. And if you don't look good at a bodybuilding show, you wasted a lot of money.
I always thought that was the most motivating thing when I was prepping for my show, and you guys can say what you think about it too, was the fear of knowing you're going to be on stage and everyone's going to be looking at you, so you feel like you have to look your best.
Yeah,
you're like, oh shit, I'm not half-assing. Well, not even just from a winning standpoint, but your friends, your family, like people that see your post later on Instagram, like you're like, I don't want to be the one looking stupid or soft up on stage.
Yeah.
I forget 100%. All of you guys have competed.
Yeah.
Except for
you're
you.
Next.
Yeah.
It's overdue,
baby.
It's overdue. It's overdue. But yeah, man, I did the bodybuilding show, and the thing about it is that the workouts were easy. Working out was easy. The diet and the sleep and the maintenance was the hard part.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Dude, getting ready for that show, I did the dumbest thing ever. I was working in a factory for 12 hours a day and prepping for a bodybuilding show. I do not recommend that shit at all because you only have but so much sleep. So basically, you're working for half of a day. You have 12 hours to get everything else you need done in that day. You need to eat, you need to sleep, and you need to get your workout in. If your workout, like just time maintenance in general, I'm not even
and commuting too, back and forth, gym, home work.
I actually got very lucky because I live 5 minutes from the gym and where I worked at. So I literally was down the street from Gold's Gym, White Oak, in the factory. So I only had to take a 5-minute drive right after work. I would get into the gym 7:15 every single night and just go after it. Like, just felt like death every single day. The factory was 110 degrees.
Your whole schedule reminds me of why I always tell people it's like, the time excuse is so shitty. Even people, though, that have kids or, work multiple jobs, I always feel like the time excuse is shitty because if it's really important to you, you're going to make it happen. Because I'm sure, like, you weren't, just sitting there on your butt complaining about, oh, well, I have to work this job, so it's okay if, I skip today, or it's okay if, so-and-so happens, or if I don't train as hard because I have this is why.
Nah.
But no, you make these excuses for yourself, even if they're legit reasons why stuff is hard. If you accept that and just slack off, you're never going to get anywhere complaining.
For the people listening, bodybuilding is expensive. High risk, low reward. You spend more money than you will get out of it 100% of the time unless you are an IFBB pro that competes at national shows and actually wins.
For sure.
And actually have sponsors. You're going to spend at least $500+ just to do the show. That includes gym memberships, your food, paying a coach, registering, paying for what class you're going to compete in, and then your tan and all that stuff.
It's certainly expensive. Did you get a coach?
I did. I was coached by Joel Person, a buddy from VCU. He was like on the VCU powerlifting, Cary Street Gym guys, one of the VCU bros. Yeah. And smart dude, engineering major. And I trusted him. He's the one who got me to do the show because being a trainer, the conflicting or the ego of trainer to trainer, you're getting somebody else is telling you, let me coach you. And you're like, no, I'm a trainer and I'm a good trainer. Why I need you? Everybody needs their own coach. You do not get better on your own. I will say that here and now. But he got me to do the bodybuilding show and he knew that I was going to do it. I was an athlete. I've been nothing but a robot my whole life. Take orders, input orders, output activity. Ones and zeros. If it is on paper, laid out for you, all you have to do is do it.
It's like a checklist, for sure.
It's just a checklist every day. And it took me, a couple weeks to kind of get into the rhythm and everything like that and make sure I had my food right and make sure I'm getting to the gym and telling them which meals I ate.
Did you follow a meal plan and did you kind of track macros or was it kind of like a mix in between?
He wrote the food for me, and I bought the food and ate it.
Amount or just types of food?
He put amount and everything. So, and that made it easier for me because once I recognized what that amount of food looked like, now I know how to eat every day. Now I know how much I need to buy. I don't need to buy too much. I didn't underbuy, and now I got to go scrape for food or something like that.
Yeah.
He made it as easy as possible, and that's why I liked him a lot because all I had to do was do it. There it is. Let me get these foods, do it. And there was no ever, can I substitute this for this? How many clients y'all got that's like, I don't really eat that. Can I substitute it? Motherfucker, just eat it.
Yeah.
There are certain things that you can eat that your body will respond.
Celiac disease. Here's the gluten. You have to eat it, Karen.
But no, it's like there are certain foods, like it's been done for years. Bodybuilding has been done for years. There are certain foods that get you to this physique. There's a general section of foods that get you to the goal. You can do if it fits and all that stuff, but you're still going to generally be doing this certain path that's worked for majority of people. So it's like you have to do it, and you have to do it consistently to know what your body is going to adapt to.
What was your well, I was going to say, for sure with what your point was, that was the first thing I was going to say. The second thing was, what was your meal, like, the morning of the show, and, like, what were you eating before and, like, during, like, while you're in the back room pumping up? Because that's where my methodology with it was, I was like, I want something that's going to kind of, I tested out the week before. I wanted something that kind of kept me full, but not too much because I know I wanted to hit the vacuum, so I didn't want something heavy in my stomach. Mm-hmm. But I also wanted something, plenty of carbs, some salt, but still, like, simple, clean sources. And then so I ate potatoes. I chopped up like French fries, salted, and I also had some lean ground turkey because I knew that kind of goes through me and digests
pretty well.
This was
before the show?
This was like the morning of.
Okay,
like the
morning
meal,
of.
probably 3 hours before I'm on stage.
Okay.
And then like an hour before I'm on stage in the back room, before I start, exercising and all pumping up, I was eating some rice cakes with some peanut butter. Not many, just like I had like I think 2, and then like 2 Oreos as well. I really almost, again, I didn't fully know what I was doing, but my thing with it too, though, is I was like, I don't want to overstress it because I might follow something that I, research a ton or that a coach would tell me it's perfect, and, maybe I just ate it 30 minutes too early, 30 minutes too late. Yeah. It may not sit in perfect with me, and I was like, you know what? As long as I don't try and do too much and try and like carb up too much and overthink it, I'd rather just play it conservative and end up with like a conservative physique rather than, high risk, high reward. And at the end of the day, I didn't want to stress it too much because it isn't like it's not like the end of the world with the show. Like, of course I want to win, but at the same time, I didn't want to like overdo it or freak out.
Did you compete NPC or OCB?
I did OCB.
Okay.
Yeah. That
might be a little different. Because I remember, NPC is non-tested. So you got people backstage taking all kinds of stuff.
Well, I'll tell you, OCB tries
their bodies and stuff.
I'll tell you OCB's testing method. They put you in a room in a hotel and they have this guy ask you some questions. You just have to say yes or no. Mm-hmm. It's pretty straightforward. Well, and if you win or you get second place or if you turn pro, they do test your, I think, your urine. So there is some testing, but at the same time, I feel like there's definitely people that slip on by.
Oh yeah,
for sure. But
if you know the half-life of the SARMs,
you can prepare ahead of time. Yeah.
All right, shows in 4 weeks. Let's
hop
take
off
this.
the
2 days before. Let me take this last Grizzly real quick. Let me take this last Spartan something.
Osterine,
they got all these different names.
Let me take it real quick.
Yeah.
And I know that in 2 weeks and 3 days, the half-life is going to kick in, but I'm still will have the gains for another week and a half.
But no, carry on with what you were talking about with your nutrition before the show.
Yeah, so before the show, because like the funny part about it is that the dude who coached me was also doing the show. We did the show together. So he had his own coach. His coach was JP. I don't know if y'all know JP.
Is he from Richmond?
I think he went to VCU. It's JPG coaching, and he's a pretty cool guy. I like his content. He has a lot of body transformations he does for people. So Joel was following JP, and I was following Joel, and basically we were all at the show together. I had no clue what to do when I was at the show. He was just like, just eat and sip water. Don't do too much, or you go, you'll look soft on stage. I look soft on stage anyway. I cheated the whole last 2 weeks of my prep. and I still got lucky that I came out the way I did. I think it was supposed to happen. I would just listen to my body. Like every night after I would do that 1 hour straight on the Stairmaster, I would literally go buy 2 Lenny's and Larry's cookies and a lean body shake. So I was literally throwing in 800 calories in my body every night before I went to sleep, and I still kept dropping weight. So it's weird, man. The body is a mystery.
Yeah.
And the whole process of your first show is figuring out what your body does.
Yeah, the first show is definitely like a learning experience. Very interesting.
Yeah, I think I came in a little bit better than most people on their first shows, even though my division was, I will admit, was weak. The light heavyweight division of 2019 Cutler and Richmond was garbage.
My show was really interesting because it got a lot of people last minute. And so, I was looking at the roster, and then they updated it, and it kind of blew up, or at least got a lot more people quickly. But my thing with it, with OCB, is it's normally, you either get people that are, like, killer, and they may or may not be on stuff, but either way, like, phenomenal physique. And then you get some people that are, like, completely, like, 20% body fat, these 40-year-old dads, and you're like, what are you doing
They
here?
just did, like, a
Look
100-pound
like ice cream.
transformation.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't do OCB, because I was like...
OCB can be hit or miss.
Yeah,
but
sometimes with OCB, it's like the difference between first place and
in
third
second
place.
or third, yeah, it's
like,
like, what the hell is
Yeah.
this? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I wanted to do OCB just because I knew it was a little more entry level, and I knew at least, like, there's usually less juice heads in it. So I was like, let me just go for that since being natural. I also signed up for novice and open instead of debut, even though technically it was my debut, just because I thought debut might be a little too easy. I might be against some chumps or some, super soft bodies. I didn't really want that trophy even if I won it. So I was like, let me do novice and let me do open. Well, it turned out that debut seemed to be more competitive than novice because they had, I think, two of the people from debut got second and third, I believe, and then the guy that was in my class in novice, he got first in novice. I got second, and then he actually ended up winning the whole thing. But your boy Tyler Penguia, is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah.
He was actually in debut, so we didn't actually get on
That's my
stage
young
at the
boy,
same
man.
time. Yeah,
That's my gym twin.
actually, I don't know if he was an open or not. I don't think he was, but
I told him he came in horrible. I said, dude, you looked horrible on stage. I said, you went flat. He looked better when he was 250. When he was 250 and he was full and killing it in
it's
the
a
gym.
weird game to play, though. I'll
It's
touch on that in a
weird,
second.
man.
But him and I were the only ones that did vacuums on stage,
Yeah.
which I feel like wasn't
Yeah, vacuums were
appreciated.
good.
They weren't. Yeah, the vacuum was not appreciated by the judges, I would say. But anyway, that's another story.
what's your second favorite classic pose?
Yeah. They just kept. The judges, first of all, were stupid on my show. They kept asking, with classic physique, you have to hit one classic pose that's like part of your mandatory poses.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, now hit your second. And I was like, that's not on the list. Like, you can't just start making shit up. Then they go, hit the archer pose, which I know it.
What?
I know
Yeah,
it
tell me
looking
what
it
that
up.
is. What's
But
that?
I
I think
don't have
that's
that
the
off
one
the top of
where
my
you-
head.
Yeah.
It's the one where you're like, yeah. And but anyway, it was stupid. But
Yeah.
here's the game I was trying to play was I didn't want to come in being natural. If you come in too lean, you look super flat.
Yep.
But I also don't want to play the game of being a little fuller, but then not having abs or not having the line. So I felt like I was happy where I ended up as far as like a mixture between show lean or like, lean, but not like crazy show lean to the point where I look super hungry on stage.
Yeah.
But then like you said, like sometimes though, you either pump up a certain amount or you eat something and you just you're not as lean as you were the day before. Like I feel like the way I look in the pictures that he took a week out, I look peeled. Granted, it's certain lighting and everything, but I feel like, I
Lean but
just
full.
look lean and
How
full
would
and crazy.
how would you
but-
feel? How you feel about the statement? Before you even prepped for your OCB competition, the party in the gym when you were flexing, what if I told you were stage ready for OCB at your best at that moment?
Yeah, the party in the gym in November was like 3 weeks out from my show. And I look back at that footage. I reposted it the other day. But I look back at that footage. I'm like, God damn, who's that guy? And then I see him turn around and it's me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, who is that guy?
You were
And,
already
what's he on?
you were
I know,
already
what's he
ready
on?
for the stage.
Yeah, and I was freaking, I
3
was,
weeks out.
I think I was around 169, 170 there. And I feel like I looked amazing there. And, I don't know. It's so funny,
All
though,
you needed
looking
was the
back.
tan.
I know. And it's so funny looking back, though, when I look back at the clips, because when I'm at that body fat percentage or whatever, I feel like, I could lose a little bit more here, this or that. But then, when you're chubbier, like I am now, I look at that and I'm like, damn, super like lean. I feel like look veiny. It's the same deal when like I look back at myself 2 years ago when I hit 200 pounds on a bulk. I'm like, man,
Jeez.
that dude's fat. So it's funny how you look at your body.
You're never
when you're on
satisfied.
yeah, I
No.
mean you're never
Body
satisfied
dysmorphia.
anyway. Yeah, but at the same
It's every
time,
day.
it's funny though how I felt like I feel like I handled the prep in a good way because when I did my last bulk before that show, I made sure I didn't get too high. Like I got to 185 or 184, knowing I'd have to lose probably another 20, 25 pounds to get to where I needed to be. Because one thing that people always do is they overestimate their show weight. I don't know if you guys, either of y'all did this, but I was like, I'll probably be show lean at 170, No, it's like 163, 162, whatever it is. And, sometimes, again, like a lot of people, like we had a client one time that thought like, he was like 200 pounds and maybe like 16% body fat. And he was like, okay, like maybe like 190, 185 will have abs. And I'm like, I'm sorry to tell you the truth. Like, you're not going to have abs until you're like 170, 175 for the most part. Like, real abs,
Yeah.
And sometimes you just kind of overestimate or underestimate how much fat you have and overestimate the body, the number on the scale that you'll be so-and-so.
Oh,
leanness.
definitely. Because, like, if you think about me, so, like, I went to college as a shot putter. I blew up 290 in college. Okay? I was almost 300 pounds.
A unit.
A whole
Absolute-
unit and a half. Cracking the sidewalk every day, walking to the Schaefer or buffet. I was ready. But I cut, for my show, I was 290 in 2015. And
Cut from 290?
no, I cut from 270. So over the
Shit,
years,
still.
I would always still do a
Goddamn.
I would always do a small cut every single year because you have to. Our bodies, humans' bodies work where it is better for you to be lean during the summer when it's hot so that you do not overheat and you can do more work. And it's better for you to be bulked in the wintertime so that you are warm and don't freeze to death. If you look at it like that, it makes sense.
Ryan said I could be fat, Maddie. Just let me. I'm
Maddie?
bulking up
Bulk it
for the
up.
winter. Yeah.
You better listen to me right here, right now. Okay, let this man gain some weight.
Does she want
Okay.
me to?
Start playing.
I like your belly.
Fat
In
balls,
the
yeah.
eyes
like
of
the
an
tummy. Good.
angel.
Real
I like your
Yeah.
tummy.
Let's play the Eyes of the Angel theme song.
Yeah, Dad. Pod.
But like every single year, I would always cut. Like when I first got to college, I cut from 265 to 235 for like the first time in like 4 years, and it was just like that every single
So
year.
what was your starting start of the prep weight and then your on show day weight?
For a 4-month cut, I started at 270, and I stepped on stage at 215. That just shows how my genetics, I guess that would be carb sensitive. I can hold on to water like nobody else's business. If I did not work out and watch what I ate, I would be a 300-pound animal rolling down the street. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that because I was close to it. It never felt good. I was only that size for athletic performance. If you want to be as strong as possible, you have to gain weight.
Yeah.
You got the freaks out there that can be freaking 150 and deadlifting 700. Might be a little extra stuff going on there. But we ain't gonna hate on them. It's still impressive to see that. But I'm a person who, if I eat that English muffin, that thing's gonna sit on me. Unless I'm putting it to work and going overtime. So basically, most of the weight I had on me was just water weight. And so, like after the first 2 weeks, I had already dropped 20 pounds. I went from 270 to 250 in like 2 weeks.
That was one thing that I never had when I started cutting. It was pretty consistent from the jump. Was 2 pounds, 1.5 like per week, and I don't think I hold like much water weight at all because I know a lot of people that when they start their show like you mentioned, even if they're not as high or even if they start their cut or whatever at 190, they lose like 4, 5, 6 pounds, 8 pounds like in the first week.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I just don't hold water or what the deal is, or if it slowly comes off and it kind of like sneakily.
Mine was that way
comes
too.
out. Yeah.
And getting back to like knowing what, or like guesstimating what my stage weight would have been, when I started the whole thing off, and of course mine was like a different scenario. I guess I didn't plan or intend on doing a show, but I was doing an online transformation. And next thing you know, it's like, well, might as well get on stage. I'm dieting so hard. And I was like, I didn't know what my weight would be because I hadn't competed in years. And I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to see how lean I can get in the minimal amount of time. It's like 4 weeks left. I'm going to see how lean I can get. And once I got closer to the show, I was like, oh shit, I'm coming in at the bottom of light heavyweight. I got to, like, it was at that point where I was like do I push a little bit harder, maybe get stringy to get in the top of middleweight or whatever, middleweight, or do I just keep on cruising and be at the bottom of light heavyweight? So I came in at the bottom of light heavyweight, but I think that was the only time where I was like guesstimating my weight. I was just more so like, let me see how much I can like get down to and see what I, in the next few weeks. And I think that's, for the most part, the way you should do it. It's like how you should look, not so much trying to get like a goal weight in mind. It should be, I just want to be my leanest.
Yeah, you can't go off like a number, but it's good to have, I feel like, boundaries to where you can expect to look, X body fat percentage at around this weight range. But you can't get lost in like a certain number because, again, like especially if you've been bulky, you might have put on muscle. Well, ideally, you've been putting on muscle in that time period.
You raise your base weight.
So you should be leaner earlier on or at a higher weight.
That's the problem I went through every single year, not knowing that I actually put on lean muscle. And I'm like, why is my walking around weight 3 pounds heavier than last year or 4 pounds heavier? And I'm like, what the heck's going on? But the weirdest part for me, like before I cut, I was like, oh, I'm probably going to be 225. I'm probably going to be 220 when I get on stage because my body fat says this. And if I, add this and divide this and subtract, it means, I'm going to be 220. Lean body mass. And next thing I know, when I was 225, I still had a soft lower stomach. Like for me, my body, a lot of the water, I got what's called the swing belly. I call it the cat belly. The cat walk and the little stomach just swinging. I can be lean as ever everywhere else, but my lower stomach and belly button is just going to be sitting there bouncing along with me. When I was at my lowest, I haven't been 225 since high school. When I cut in that show, when I was 225, I still had a little bit of love handles and a lower stomach. And I was panicking because I was 3 weeks out from the show, and I was trying on my mankini and all that stuff, and I was looking thick in that mankini, baby. I was ready to start the OnlyFans, and I was like, how the hell am I gonna step on stage and I'm still getting squeezed around my waist?
Yeah.
But then that's when you can't. That's when your topic of you can't put a number on it. You have no idea what's gonna happen. Once I got into the week of the show and I started my water cut, didn't even cut it too much. I think I did.
Did you use a waist trainer?
So you did a water cut
No.
for the show?
Yeah, for the last week. I've reduced water intake for the last week. I think I did like, I can't even remember it, man. I want to say 4 gallon Sunday, or forcefully try to do 4 gallon Sunday, then 3, 2, 1, or 3, 2, a half gallon, and then started taking diuretics that last day before the show. So I took the diuretic on the, I think the show was Friday, Saturday only.
Usually Saturdays.
I think it was Saturday only. That Friday, I drank a half a gallon of water or like a quarter gallon, just enough to stay alive. And I took that diuretic, and then literally overnight, the lower stomach and the love handles disappeared. It was literally all water just sitting here in the last spots. And I was like, what in the world is going on? And so I was like 220 the day before the show and ended up stepping on stage at 215. And that was crazy but it also blew my mind because I was 215 my senior year of high school. That put in perspective of how hard it is to gain muscle.
Yeah.
Dude, 10 years ago, I was the same weight, in same shredded, it didn't make sense. I was like, did I really not gain that much muscle in 10 years? Dude, mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Like, did you ever think about that when you did a show?
I try to explain that to people.
Kinda.
Yeah, I'll let you talk in a minute. But it's my show, damn it.
Yeah, hold your ass up.
But I always try to explain that to people. Like when I do like a bulk and I gain 15, 20, 25 pounds, whatever, I'm lucky to gain like 2 pounds of muscle that I keep. It's like you can't expect all that to gain muscle. But at the same time, like you mentioned, if you want to grow, you have to eat enough and you have to gain weight. So you can't just stay maintenance weight and expect to get any
something
stronger
out of
and make
nothing.
any minutes. Exactly. So
No shreds, 30-day
yeah, you got to give your body a
transformation.
reason to grow. But at the same time, as long as you have a plan of action to remove the fat later and reveal that 1, 2, 3 pounds of muscle that you've worked for, then it's worth it.
A lot of Instagram women are going through that now. You know
Yeah.
how like the in the 80s, it was all about being slim and trim and fit. Ho, hey, no butt.
Yeah.
Let me go. Just want to be lean. Just want to look like I do aerobics. And now the culture has flipped where everybody wants to look full figured. Everybody, men and women, you want to look full. It's not cool anymore just to be have a physique, you know.
Yeah.
No swimsuit body.
I mean, abs are cool, but they ain't that cool. You got to be well-rounded.
When you
know.
figure
All
out
about
how
the
hard
calves.
it is to get, when you figure out the process to get abs, you realize they're not as worth it as you think.
Hell no.
Yeah.
You're halfway
Skinny
there.
guy with abs
Right.
is like a fat chick with boobs.
Yeah.
I've
Right.
always heard. Nothing to
But-
write home about.
Yeah.
But it's like the culture has flipped to, I want to be thick. So now you got all these girls who are bulking and gaining weight to be, you know, show their butt off on Instagram, you know. It's a rite of passage.
Sponsored.
How long until I can show my cheeks off on IG and start making some money from it?
Tell her never. Never,
Nah.
man.
Hey, baby.
Don't quit your day job.
Yeah.
I say, but
Unemployment's
it's wild. It's wild how the culture changed like that. But then it's like you got genetics still play a role. You can bulk all you want, but it don't mean it's going straight to your ass and your hips. It's like you want that ideal, you know, Coke bottle, you know, aesthetic, but then it's going to your stomach and you trying to figure out what's going on, or like you may be one of the women who's built with small hips and wide shoulders, and now you're looking like your dad with a wig.
Damn.
You know.
I've seen that too.
You know, but you can't control it, man. You can't control it. Or then you got the females who are actually starting to gain weight now. They realize eating like a bird is not going to get them to their goals. They start to eat more. They start to get to that physique in that body, whether it's fit, whether it's, you know, for visual appeal only. They get to it, but then also once the number keeps going, it's like, what do I do now? I thought it was just going to stop right here and be perfect forever.
I definitely agree with you on that. I also think chicks are now starting to realize, not all of them have caught on yet. You can tell who has and who have caught on to actually lifting some goddamn weight.
Oh yeah, we got a nice, fine young woman in our gym that loves some IG workouts, but she don't lift much weight. She has the pinnacle of genetics of the ideal woman, but she don't really lift, and that's just all luck, man.
Yeah.
That was just
I was gonna say, I
draw
feel
the
like I know
cards.
who you're talking about, but then at the same time, I feel like there's a lot of people that
It's a
fit
lot.
that.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's she's very appealing physically and in person. We not gonna say no names,
Yeah.
origins.
Off there.
Yeah. We'll talk about it off there. But it's like the thing is though is that she's perfect for the selling of what you need. Like, God dang it, if you worked for me, you would be doing so much better than you're doing now, because like again, more stuff off the air to talk about, but her potential for revenue income and what she would be able to do only if she did something would be exponential. And it's probably people that know what's listening to this right now probably laughing their tail off. They know exactly who it is.
They
Like,
probably got a few picks.
Richmond fit community is not big. It is very small, and everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, that's the problem, because a lot of people I feel like have been passed around, and guys and girls, to be fair.
Baby, you watch
But,
your mouth, man. I feel a little
Yeah.
offended.
Yeah.
Watch your mouth. Let me stop.
Damn.
But it is a small community.
But it's like you got people like that, man, who just got it like that. You got what people want, and they shop with their eyes. Dang, you got what I want. Maybe help get me there. That's not how it works, though. Everybody's built different.
We were just talking about this morning. Instagram makes you can fool a lot of people with that, and just the way you look or the way you perceive yourself or put yourself out there. You can make yourself look
Like, you know what you're talking
totally
about.
different than what is actually going on behind the scenes, or what you've been doing, or what you are trying to do. A lot of people get away with that.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to do that. Like if it's literally your livelihood and you have to make income, you got to be able to. You got to have the image. Nobody wants the out of shape trainer. I think that's what kind of hurt me a lot in my early days of training, because like I used to work for Compel. I was at Mechanicsville location, Mechanicsville and Colonial Heights are like were better areas for Compel because of just traffic of people and availability of money to spend on trainers. Like Colonial Heights and Hopewell, so like the military base right down the street, and then you got old retired white people in Mechanicsville. I call Mechanicsville the white man's retirement home because they'll go in
Florida,
there.
Virginia.
The Florida goes gym. But but they know what they want, and they will buy training and stuff like that. But for me, selling training, especially online, I can say I'm a certified strength and conditioning coach, and I'm better than all these other Richmond trainers who only have a standard personal training. Yeah, they only have a standard personal training certification. I literally, you're only allowed to even attempt this certification with this, and this credentials. I can say that all day, but then people look at me and I'm just a big dude.
Yeah, I see both sides because I'm a big believer that, again, like for most trainers, unless you are someone who's using like extra body fat for a purpose of performance and strength and power, I feel like generally you should practice what you preach. You should be training because we both talked about it a million times about how many trainers, co-workers we've had that either don't lift or don't know what they're doing, teach their clients bad form. But on the other token, there's a lot of people that are, know how to train their own body and can, diet themselves. But when it comes to actually teaching other people or coaching other people, they're awful at it, or they just give them their exact program and expect it to work.
That's a hard thing, man, because I used to be on a witch hunt. Like when I first got out of school, I thought I was the greatest thing ever. Yeah, I still do. I don't like to talk about it much, but I got that knowledge, man. I put my 600 hours in, my 1,200 hours of learning how to coach people, and then you got old Johnny Sue over here. He was just, he's the guy with abs, and that's all he is. Yeah, he got his cert, but anybody can go get their cert. There was no thing that made him any different than anybody else. And it would piss me off to see people like that because it's like, yo, I got all this knowledge that I'm ready to give people, but you want to go to him because he just got abs.
Yeah, we were talking about that this morning, was about how, like, sometimes you have the perfect, or at least it seems pretty straightforward. You have a good product, good service, whatever it is. People should want it, But then when it comes down to it,
people are
sometimes
dumb.
It is people either don't understand the product or service, or they don't, they'll go with the more flashy thing or the thing that seems more successful, or the hype train or whatever it is. People kind of lean on those things, and it's not as simple as provide good product or service. People will want it. People will come. Sometimes there's a lot more into it as far as promotion, marketing, what is the term? Advertisement, anything like that,
That is very true, and that is a good point.
I feel like a lot of things are like a mirage. They're perceived,
exactly,
and not they're perceived and oh man, it must be true because that's all I do see. But then once they get up to it, or they actually look deeper than face value, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, and I used to make a bigger deal about this. Like I said, I used to be on a witch hunt of G-checking people. If you don't know, a G-check is when you find somebody in your own profession and you check to see if they have, if they are up to the task or they're capable of doing what you do or better. And there was a lot of people that I was like, okay. What do you think about this? Or what are you doing over there with that? It's a lot of unqualified people, calling themselves trainers. But at the same time, I can't get but so mad because they just want to spread fitness and wellness just like we do. So it's only but so much you do. But you can see it, man. You can see it. If somebody making up a workout on the fly, they don't even know what's going on. They're not prepared. They didn't think ahead. Then you got the person that's already set up. They know what they're going to do, and it's just boom, 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 boom.
I think a lot of people, with trainers like we're talking about, there's a thing of like good intention, like you mentioned, like they want to do good, they want to help somebody, but they just don't have the experience yet. And I see that a lot with some people. But then there's some people that don't have the good intentions and plus don't have the experience, and they just are in it to like, hey, let me crank out some money, or let me just like put out some bullshit, sloppy stuff, and I do see that as well.
It's a lot of people that just get away. They get away with their platform. They get away with their looks, and it's like I can't be mad because I would do the same thing as well. But it's like, my whole thing, like I said before, is don't get hurt. If I see you training somebody and I feel like you're putting them in danger because I know you don't have the experience, I'm gonna come talk to you. I'm not gonna talk to the client because I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to steal your clientele. But I'm gonna come to you as a professional and be like, "Yo, what are you doing?" I literally saw a dude in the gym training some woman, and he didn't even know how to adjust he was doing the calf raise, standing calf raise. He didn't even know how to adjust the shoulders on the calf raise machine. I'm like, you putting somebody else's health and safety in your hands. You don't even know how to operate the machine you got them using. How are you making somebody do something that you yourself can't even do?
Yeah.
That's my whole thing. You have to be able to. I don't make my clients do anything that I have never done or attempted. Why the hell am I going to make somebody do, let's just say, a CrossFit workout? Let's just say I'm making them do like snatches for time. Why the hell would I make you do snatches for time when I don't do that? I've done powerlifting, strongman, bodybuilding, high volume training, running, and whatever else, just as an example. Why would I make you do something I have no clue is how it's going to affect you? Wouldn't do that. But you got people out here just trying to make a quick buck, and they understand that people that are uninformed think they're making the most progress just because they got their ass whooped.
Yeah.
Oh man, my trainer had me slamming balls on the wall and doing ropes and jumping on the box. Oh man, I was just so tired when I was done.
Yeah, the other thing is the show.
I was tired too, But it's like, just because you're tired, don't mean that person was a good trainer. They are telling you to do exercises. They are not training you.
Well, that's the one thing I noticed with a lot of trainers, and some clients that I've gotten from other trainers is they'll be like, "Oh, well, we used to do this with so and so," and it's like a bunch of like interval or hit stuff, and that can be great, or like the battle ropes or slam balls like you mentioned. That can be great for certain purposes. But if you're coming to me and you're telling me your goals are, to gain muscle, to improve your physique, this stuff isn't going to get you there. So
Exactly.
you run into that a lot.
I call them the hit trainers. That's the revolution. That's the wave right now for the past 4 years. It's the hit training, because results do come quick in terms of body fat loss and appearance changing with hit training, because it forces you to burn more calories faster.
Yeah.
It makes you work harder. People like to work hard. They like to feel like they're working hard, and they like to see results fast. That's why hit training is like the wave right now.
And I will mention that was the training style of a company that I used to work with.
Correct.
And
I already dropped the name.
Okay.
Well,
it would only be that you wouldn't be able to deviate from that. You'd show up, the workout would already be written up for you to do as a trainer, which doesn't technically allow you to act as a trainer. It's more so just a reader. And you followed those workouts, and they were all pretty much hit. And I understand, but I don't. But like, because people, they're buying personal training, they want stuff directed towards their goals. Yeah, personal, not generalized for weight loss or high intensity, trying to burn as many calories as we can possible, and fuck gaining strength or focusing on this area or that area. It was just hit. You got a minute to do as many reps as you can, and we're chilling.
Yep. And but that's the wave, man. That's the wave, and that's what sells right now.
It does. It does, big time.
But the way you break through that is you have to ask people what they think they're getting out of it. Help them realize what they are actually getting out of it, and then let them know what they're missing out on. Again, that one specific, Instagram trainer, who I have no ill will against. I do not. But they see this person and they want to look like this person, but they don't even understand that they have to do this or lift this amount of weight to build. They have to eat this amount of food to grow, to try to even attempt to look like this person. This person looked like this naturally because They had their genetics lined up. And you're out here doing cardio trying to gain?
Yeah.
Nani? ¿Qué cosa?
Nah.
Nah.
Negative.
Nah. It's yeah, man. It's interesting, and trying to change that that culture is very difficult, especially when people like to be part of a team, or they like to it lessens the burden. When you're by yourself and you're getting your ass whooped, it's so much more easier if somebody's beside you also sharing the trauma, quote unquote, or the beat down. Because once you make it out of it, it's like, ooh, we made it through. Clap hands, boom.
Yep.
And then and that's what grows that part of it. That's what grows that those hit trainers. But yeah, man, hit trainers, man, man, fuck y'all.
Let's break in these questions.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. So this is how we polish off the show. This is Answer the Internet from Barstool Sports. These are questions as fucked up as you are. And they're not to be taken too seriously. They're all for fun. Might get a little crazy, so this is definitely 18 or older. And I'll start it off today. Mine is Answer the Internet. Would you rather orgasm every time you hear All-Star by Smash
Oh
Mouth,
my.
or hear All-Star every time you orgasm?
Dang, this puts Shrek into my head.
Yeah, about to say, man, with all the memes, man, you busting all day, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's exhausting.
I'd rather hear it when I come.
But then you,
I
I was gonna
wanna
say,
do
then you'd
that,
have
yeah.
to play it to be able to.
But that's
Oh.
negative
Well,
association.
no. Well, that would be the first option.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'd be like,
otherwise,
oh, we got to turn on Smash Mouth.
Yeah.
That's my go-to.
That's
song,
my
babe.
go-to.
Turn on Smash
Wait,
Mouth,
here
babe.
comes the chorus. Yeah.
hey now,
Hey now.
Okay, so all this
Somebody.
we're gonna assume that this is involuntary and that you can
Yeah.
still do it on your own. I would rather bust that nut when I hear Smash Mouth versus having to play it, or every time that I do it, I hear it.
mean,
Think about
but
it,
like-
man.
You know what? You're right, because I
I'm
feel
saying-
like it'd get tiring
You're
after
like,
a couple
I don't wanna
times.
hear this,
Yeah.
man.
Here it
God.
comes.
Turn it off.
Here it comes.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey now. Yeah.
but I mean, imagine though, like you're at your parents' place. They're throwing an old throwback Shrek, and it's like, oh shit.
Hey,
You're at like some kid's birthday party. Like, no, not Shrek, not Shrek.
Turn it off.
I say, man, you just gotta tuck that face in that shirt,
Yeah.
mess them drawers up, man. Boom, boom, oh, hey, oh.
Is he
man.
having seizures over there?
It's like, you all right? Nah, I got cramp in my leg. That's about it. That's about it. Yeah, I'm choosing "Bust That Nut" on the song, not negative association.
What's that nut? Sounds like a song.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Sir
I'm
Mix-a-Lot.
about to not go
Yeah.
Sir Mix-a-Lot
vocalize.
song.
Yeah.
busting up bar, Tropic Thunder.
Oh yeah, Tropic Thunder.
All right, so we all agree that we rather the latter of the option, the first option. Boom. Question 2. Simple. Would you rather wear cargo shorts every day or no socks ever again?
probably cargos every day. I would say.
I'm gonna go cargos too, because I just don't like the feeling of like sweaty feet and shoes, or just in general. Like I feel like socks, they're so overlooked, but they're important.
I
Imagine
could
wearing
wear
dress
the toe shoes every day.
Imagine wearing
Yeah,
dress
the shoes.
shoes with no socks.
Yeah,
Fucked up all day.
But
like a swan.
imagine like so many events you go to wearing cargo shorts, being that dickhead.
But you're so
They're
functional-
more
you're
tactical.
So
Look at his
functional and
asshole.
tactical, yeah.
Look at his asshole
Who came
right
to the
here,
wedding
man.
in cargo shorts?
But then when you're like,
Suit
someone
top.
needs a flashlight, you're like, quick, I got it.
Oh, yeah. Pull that that multi-tool out. Keep your
You
wallet.
need a bottle opener.
Yeah.
Keep that wallet in the side
I
pocket
guess
instead of
so,
the back
man.
pocket.
Cargo
You
shorts.
know, with cargo shorts, you'd need a big Velcro trifold wallet too.
You would.
to fit the aesthetic.
That's tough, man, because I don't want to be a cargo shorts guy, but I also don't want to fuck my feet up with the friction. Man, you know, I'm going to go no socks because I can't rock the cargos every day.
More excuse for pedicures.
Yeah.
Say, get my feet done, man. Get that
Yeah.
that nice old lady. Give me that nice shin massage, man. That's my favorite part.
Alright, let's see what Griffin picked out. Would you rather only jerk off to the thought of your girlfriend, or only jerk off to your girlfriend getting railed in a porn?
Reread.
Let me reread that, yeah. Would you rather only jerk off to the thought of your girlfriend, or only jerk off to your girlfriend getting railed in a porn?
So you either gonna be thinking about her only, or you only watching her.
Oh, so your porn, the only porn you can watch is her getting railed.
Okay, yeah, the only porn you can watch is her getting railed, or you can only jerk off to the
I'm
thought
only
of her.
jerking off to the thought of her then.
Definitely the thought of her.
Because I am not going to be like, oh,
I
let me-
can have a good imagination. I don't need.
He's
the,
already thinking about
me-
somebody railing his girl.
Nah.
That's what he's saying.
Two for
Plot
one.
twist.
Yeah,
I'm
2
saying-
for 1. Yeah.
Checkmate.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking about that.
Yeah.
So
Nah.
no. What girlfriend?
Oh, sad boy
The
hours.
one that broke your heart.
Yeah.
Real? Oh.
Yeah, the guilt afterwards is
No,
gonna
she
be
kinda
like,
bad, man. I know she's kind of fine, man. Seeing her on the screen might be a little nice. I don't
But
know what I'm saying.
that dude, though, ain't you.
He ain't, but you know,
Ray J.
Yeah.
everybody everywhere is on Pornhub somewhere, whether you've seen it or not. Unfortunately,
It's true about some people.
Unfortunately.
So where I'll leave it.
Yeah, before you get the fans only, make sure you check the free site.
Yeah, check the Reddit.
Yeah.
You gotta check
I
the
never
Reddit first.
understood that. Like, I get the people locally.
Giving away the secrets.
No, but why?
Erase that.
Why do people pay for browsers
man.
or premium porn sites? There's endless
Hey,
free
man,
content out there.
I'll do the talking for this one,
All right,
man,
go for
because
it.
you know I like to invest in a black business every now and then. So you know, if I'm
Locally.
gonna support, you know, I want to support a local business. You know, I want my produce fresh. I don't want it sitting out in the sun all day.
Yeah.
But think about it, like, would you rather, you know, just general terms, would you rather go and buy fast food because it's right down the street, or would you rather go spend 7 months in the mountains to get your food? You know, you want fast food.
Fast food.
Okay, exactly. You know,
Yeah, I do love Taco Bell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna buy my Taco Bell.
I'm
Be
gonna ask
happy.
you because I wonder what the answer is. Are you a subscriber to any OnlyFans?
Yes, multiple.
All right. Well,
Dang.
I
can
knew
we-
he would.
so,
That's why I asked.
Can we give either some slight details, or can you drop any type of thing about it? So
Do you
we
know any of them in
Do we
person?
know?
Oh yeah, I helped him start it.
Okay. Would we know? Would any of us know them?
No, unless you've
Laburnum?
seen them in the gym.
Gold?
Unless you've seen them in the
Laburnum
gym.
Golds?
Do you happen to see a tape in the back cage of the gold? No, I'm
I
just kidding.
might
I'm
pay
just
for
kidding.
that.
I'm
All
just
right.
kidding.
Let's
I
put
thought
it on
about
the,
it.
let's
though.
put it on the GYMFLO card.
Yeah.
I thought about it though, because you know it is good income, man. It's simple, but you got to realize it's like, you know, being serious about it. Let's say I decide I'm gonna make an OnlyFans and I'm gonna have smut on there. If I go and distribute it and try to make good money, how many people will actually want the guy doing the voyeurism as their trainer, unless they want to be a part of it? You know, you
Yeah,
got to
that's
choose
true.
your business at that point, and it's like, you know.
I feel like for guys,
I
there's
don't know.
no upside to that stuff. I feel like for girls, it's like they take less of a hit.
Hey, that muscle worship, man.
Yeah.
There's some skinny small dude
Kai Green
somewhere.
and that grapefruit.
There you go. Some small skinny dude somewhere, man. It's gonna pay you $10,000 to hang off your arm for an hour. And then, you know, and rub oil on you. And it's like, it's up to you. At that point, is how your comfort level is.
Well,
like,
I needed lotion anyway, so.
you know, can't walk around unmoisturized. If you're watching this video right now, listen to this podcast, straighten your shoulders up, drink your water,
All right, Griffin, hit it.
stay moisturized.
Would you rather your girlfriend be able to read your thoughts during sex or all of the time except during sex?
During sex.
Yeah, during sex.
Yeah, during sex.
High chance I'm not thinking about anybody else except her.
She's gonna be like, "Oh, he wants to do that." None of you. But no, that definitely sounds better because most of the day my mind's blank. No, my mind's just blank. I don't do nothing. I'm just thinking about next time I'm gonna work out, when's the next meal, and when I'm going to sleep. That's it.
And the OnlyFans.
And OnlyFans girls.
Who I'm subbing to next.
I say that's how it is, man. You know, you just gotta, you know, just,
All right.
just put a little money to
So,
the side,
real quick,
man.
since you're the only one to hear that's openly admitted about OnlyFans.
Yeah. It's no problem.
So,
Sick
what's
Sick
the
man.
best thing you've seen so far on there? Like how nasty, how
Can
dirty
they
is
take
it?
Really,
requests?
that was better than just porn you could find online.
Like, tell me your best
So look,
memory.
honestly, it's not even memory. Honestly, it's just about, and this is why I helped her make it, because it's just about, it's that personal service. This is for you.
So she calls your name out, like it'd be like, "Hey Ryan, this one's for you."
Oh, I don't make requests.
Yeah.
I don't make requests. I'm just like,
You get a discount since you
Yeah.
helped make it.
yeah.
20% off.
Yeah.
Use code ASS.
Or I get that 10% in the pocket. Think about that.
Oh,
that.
it's like betting on a race.
So you're a pimp.
Yeah, you're basically a digital pimp.
Gator.
That word's a bit aggressive. I would like to say manager.
Well, you take care of your ladies.
A manager?
Yeah.
No. It's not that deep. But no. Just think about it as a general perspective. Like, you know, you want something from everybody, or that's for everybody, or you want something for you. You know.
But how do you know it's just for you, though?
No,
I've
but
never
that's
been on
actually the
OnlyFans.
backwards thing. If you're dating this girl and then she's posting everything, it's everybody's. It's everybody's girl.
Yeah, but then the money comes back to both of you.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know
I
if it's
still
worth
wouldn't
it, though.
want that.
I don't want to go to the gym and know every dude's
Hear me out.
liking my
You
girl's ass picture.
You can't have the baddest bitch in the room if you're afraid to walk in public with her.
Walking in public's one thing. Her ass
Yeah.
cheeks being out there for everyone is another.
But if you're wearing Gymshark leggings, that ass everywhere
well,
anyway.
she wouldn't be my girl if she was wearing Gymshark leggings in the first place.
Yeah. No.
Well, Ryan, hear me out. How do you know that what's coming to your phone was made specifically for you if they're not calling your name out in it? Do
Yeah,
they
these-
send? Do
some
they?
of these
Is it like
women are
Instagram
dangerous.
messages where they can?
So, all right, so we're getting into simp. We're getting into simp territory.
I don't understand.
So we're getting into simp territory.
What's that mean?
So a simp is the dude. The simp is the dude that is like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Like there's the guy.
I love you, baby. Yeah.
Like,
Dude
oh my
comments hard
God.
eyes,
Yeah.
My queen.
There's a fine line between.
Let me spoil you.
Right. There's a fine line between complimenting somebody and then you're like, oh my God, you didn't deserve that on the open comment board. You know, it's the simps that are going in there. It's like, oh, I want you to say my name during the video, and I want you to be upside down with the clown hat on and one shoe, and then I want you to at 2 minutes and 32 seconds, I want you to say, you know, X, Y, Z. You know, like.
All right, but get to it. Like, how do you know it's for you? How do you know it's specifically for you? She didn't blast it, email blast it to everybody.
I believe it is no. I know it's getting blasted to everybody because I'm not dumb.
And do you ever click on those links that say you are the millionth visitor to this page? You've won the
Oh yeah,
prize.
definitely. That's why I'm a millionaire now.
Was it a Nigerian prince?
Yeah, man. I met him in real life and everything. He's a pretty cool guy, pretty chill guy. But no, it's not like, you know, I'm aware of what I'm doing. But it's more so, it's just like a curiosity thing, you know. Obviously, we're getting the job done. You know, we ain't there for no reason. But it's like, it's more of a curiosity thing. And seeing women make millions of dollars on there just shaking ass, man.
But it's because of people like you, though, that are paying
Yes.
for it.
All right.
Yes, I know. It's fun.
I don't know how this works. I'm trying to break it down, and maybe a lot of people don't.
Well,
So can you send
okay.
messages back?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Video,
Open conversation.
video, pics.
Yeah.
So you can send a little something back to them.
Yeah. But
It's
I'm not a
borderline
simp, so I don't do it.
It's real borderline prostitution, just
Hey.
no actual sexual act going on between the person.
No
Are
touching.
y'all against prostitution?
No.
I generally am not, but at the same time, I feel like if you legalize it, there's going to be a lot of issues. I'd have to dig deeper into the policy because I know in countries like, which one is it,
Do
Germany?
you know why prostitution is illegal?
Well, let me just finish my
From
thought.
what I know is that it's because you can't tax it. That's the only reason. And it's
Well,
only available
because
in like Texas.
freelance income gets kind of weird. I don't think
That's why.
that's the sole
It's
issue.
money.
I think the sole issue is more concern over crime long term because in Amsterdam, for example, where it's legal, it might seem like they're getting the money, but in reality, they're getting pimped out. These children are getting taken and saying they're 18. It becomes a lot more of an
Took
issue.
a dark turn.
So if you just, sex
not
trafficking
fun
is
anymore.
actually a huge ordeal. So I feel like
It is
if you
very
legalize it, that's a whole rabbit hole. But
Yeah. Let's try to stay on a lighter
but on a lighter
of it.
side of things, I do think it's
Think about McDonald's, what I just told you.
I don't know.
You want to go to McDonald's, man? You want to go hunt for that elk in the woods? You want
I want Arby's.
Going to Arby's, man. So you want that high class. You want to pay
Chick-fil-A.
a little extra change.
Not
for that
everybody can
strange,
afford that
baby.
meal, if you know what I'm saying.
But no, it's just like it would.
I ain't
Dude,
shopping on the dollar menu.
do you think? How do you think it would change American society if prostitution was legal? Not even speaking of OnlyFans.
I think
but
a lot
like
of
actual. I'm
you'd
talking
figure
about
out
brothel.
you'd
type
figure out
stuff.
who are the real men and who are boys that are just paying for sex and can't get a real woman, or they just see. I don't know. I won't get into
I keep thinking of it as the fast food versus hunting thing. It's like do you really want to go out and hunt and the chance of not even coming back with meal?
I want a
Yes.
I want a fine woman that I am proud to be with and respectable, and she's respectable. And I don't want the person that's being passed around. It's not simp.
Simp alert.
It's not simp culture.
I'd argue
Drop
the
F in
opposite.
Drop F in the comments.
Opposite.
Drop F in the comments.
I want a high quality person.
I understand. I completely understand what you're saying.
Think of how many things are like low hanging fruit and like bottom of the barrel and are easily accessible once you become an adult. I feel like, lottery tickets, nicotine and tobacco, alcohol, gambling, other things like that. And porn too, for that example too. Like how many people do you know that, they start watching it in high school and it's like, I don't know, maybe it's not talked about that much, but it's hard if you want to stop. Like it's hard. I feel like if you try to go for more than like a month or a week or whatever, but I feel like with something being more available, is that necessarily a good thing? I don't know if it's good to necessarily legalize things in terms of like, would you want that to be, I don't know, like, would you want your daughter, would you want your future spouse or something like that to be a prostitute? Would you want that in your neighborhood? Would you want that in your community? And then kind of think of that from like inward out to the rest of the country, I kind of feel like.
Where is the fear coming from? What's the fear in it?
Because it's never like, I kind of feel like, well, that's a good point. I guess it's like more of a morality thing. I almost feel like I would never want anyone I'm related to become a prostitute, and I feel like
that's selfish, you chauvinistic male.
Well, my thing
is it's never like
it's not your choice
going to a prostitute. It's always like these weird freaks.
Hey, but what if? Imagine the weird freaks being satisfied and not causing any problems anywhere else.
I think it would,
they should change themselves to be able to be more socially
Imagine them
acceptable.
Stimulating the economy.
Not everything is about the economy.
No, it's a joke. I'm just saying.
It's about social welfare as well. As well.
I think a lot of it
I don't think it would improve culture. I think the best thing you could argue is that culture would remain the same. I think it would create worse men with, worse...
I paid my money. I want you to do this. I want this service.
I just think people would have, like, less respect overall for each other and for the body overall. And I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea.
Very interesting point, gentlemen. But I don't see an issue in it.
Yeah. I don't know. I see both sides. There could be discipline between people, but most people they can't control themselves at all. So those are the people that I guess you'd have to worry about over and abusing things like that.
Like a drug addict.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and the people that are the freaks, the weirdos that are just like that would just open the door. But there would be people that would probably use it and have discipline to realize that is like I don't know.
I would also say too, like with how easy it would get or be to get, like how strong would your relationship be too if it was like, well, like she isn't doing it for me, like let me just go out and grab that real quick, and then I don't know, you know what I mean? Like I feel like
marriage
that would definitely degrade.
Real issue.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, no,
Mommy's going out to make money tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're a millionaire family, like, what does it matter?
It's not all about money. I'd rather be poor and have love and a strong family.
Are we concerned
than rich
about
degenerate.
other people having sex?
So that's another thing too. Is there's some people that push that sex is just sex and it's not part of a relationship, or it doesn't have to be about love. And I don't think it has to be, but I think naturally and chemically it's true that you do develop this connection with this person. If you do orgasm with them or have sex with them, and I feel like for a marriage, I just feel like it would deteriorate a relationship if you're having. It kind of goes to the monogamous relationship versus the. I don't want to mispronounce the word, but you know what I mean. Having multiple partners. Mm-hmm. Because I think those relationships are shown to just be less successful because someone's not happy if you're being shared around an open relationship. Like I think those are a bad idea, especially when it comes to a successful, happy relationship long term, and especially if you have children.
Yeah, there's got to be some sort of some sort of element of sacrifice to be able to accomplish something better. I feel like, and if there's just You know what I mean? Like, you have to, you can't always be thinking about what's better, what else is out there, other things like that. And I feel like with relationships, if that was legal, it would always just be like, oh, we're having an argument, like, let me go blow off some steam. And then it's like, there's that element of trust that's broken.
Not married, or the man who doesn't have the plan to get married?
I think he should better himself and find somebody that he can build a solid relationship with.
I mean, there's outliers,
he
but
build a relationship with that dollar, baby. He going to the brothel right down the street to blow off some steam.
yeah.
I feel like I have some friends that are more into the strip clubs. More they go to other countries and do, and I feel like
take me back.
It's
to
never a good like. I feel like I never look to them and I'm like, wow, I really look up to like any part of you. I feel like I never respect that, if that makes sense.
Oh, these guys really judgy over here, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever really like, besides being, going out in a group, I would never go to a strip club by myself, or like just me and another friend. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
I've
get
never
what you're
been
saying.
to a strip club solo.
I don't look forward to it, but when I'm in there, I'm like, oh, fuck it, I'm having a good time, whatever. Like, everybody's out here, it's like mutual, but like,
it's just
I'm
weird to me to be like, this is someone's daughter, or like this is someone's
I
sister.
never think of that.
Maybe I'm a little too wasted when I go.
It's just blinders on.
Yeah.
I'm usually.
He's like, you got OnlyFans?
Usually it's too
Pretty
like
much.
it's very late in the night when I've been like very late, and it's like, oh, that's the last joint that's open.
Yeah, well, that's what I think about. Is like, man, this is like the avenue that you wound up turning to. Like this is it. Like you're just getting naked for some creep to like throw dollar bills at you, and like, yeah, you might make a lot of money, but it's like, what went wrong to get you to this point? That's kind of how I feel. I feel like that.
These guys.
Yeah. I mean, it's
The
all
The Zoomers are conservatives.
So I think everybody has their right to do what they want. I've been around and I know some dancers, and if that's what they like to do, and if that's their prerogative and that's their goals, and I'm not going to stop them.
Would you ever marry one?
No.
I think that, Ryan, would you marry like a porn star or stripper?
Yes.
Just different
Different dude.
moralities.
Because
Different
a job is a job, and if they do the job well, they're going to be living a well life. There shouldn't be any issue.
But is money the...
I understand territorialism, which a lot of stuff y'all saying. Oh, I don't want my girl to be doing. If it's just a job, and it does not affect, that's being insecure. If it's just a job, and it is not affecting your relationship at home, then I can see it becoming a problem. Like every day, you're like, hey, can't wait for my porn star wife to come home and do some tricks on me, and she's like, nah, not today. Today was a rough day at work.
Yeah.
Had that BBC.
Today was a rough day
Had to
at
do
work.
double.
Had to go up with baby arm John over there, and then he just kind of wrecked me. So I'm gonna be out for a couple days, honey. Oh, I understand. But no, that's for real. But it's a whole thing of like,
I just think there's more to it
Don't
than
get into
it's just
stuff.
a job. I think there's a sense of dignity, and I don't think it's an insecurity necessarily. I think it just does affect a relationship, because I think, again, like, there is a connection between, meaningful relationship and sexual relations as well.
It's all about being with somebody who you can actually handle. If you don't want your wife to be seen naked on the internet, don't be with somebody who is naked on the internet. That's all it is.
Well, I think if you're happy, you're happy. Regardless, like you can be happy with whoever, as long as both of y'all can agree and know that, be open, transparent, being like, hey, I do this, you do that. As long as we're happy at the end of the day, you still come home, whatever. It's like I see people out there.
Not to get too much on a tangent.
Am I going to a strip club and trying to get girls' numbers? Maybe.
I feel I'm not. There are some. I was telling you this the other day. There are some popular Instagram models that I've seen that have an OnlyFans or have something like that are married, and I feel like I just look at the man as like a weak man. The fact that like, that is your wife, and like for $10, I can see everything. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I'm backwards mentality, but I just feel like there's a certain degree. Yeah.
Who really has the power though?
Well, the ones funding it.
I think it just goes back to what you said though about relationships, like why I don't cheat or why cheating obviously doesn't make a successful relationship like 9 times out of 10. I don't want to get into open relationship stuff, but
Let
like
it be known here first, Brock Covington cheats.
no, don't have time for it. But the thing is, I feel like you have to, like you said, make sacrifices, and it's a sense of even though you have this kind of sexual tension or need, or even if it's not even sex related, it could be a different want or need. Having the ability to control that, I feel like, is something that man and women, whatever, should have. It's like controlling your impulses and your wants and needs, things like that. Like negative.
Definitely keeps us separate from the cavemen.
Yeah.
I can understand that. Yeah. What we doing? Talking about sex, man.
I don't know.
It's a fitness podcast.
I know.
Boom.
Well,
What's your favorite lift? Go.
T-bar row.
T-bar row.
Yeah. I feel it the
Suffocation.
best.
I would say pull-ups or squats.
Gross.
Everybody always says legs.
Pec deck.
Pec deck. Mine, deadlift. And I used to hate deadlifts.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be because you use everything. You feel everything. Feel about to explode. Fingers feel like about to rip off. But it ended up being my strongest lift. So I had no choice but to, I had no choice but to do it. Oh, man. Second favorite lift. Go. Actually, not second favorite lift. What is your favorite day? What's your favorite split day to work?
Chest and back.
Chest and back? At the same time?
Yeah, same workout.
Okay.
Not same time, but
Honestly, lately, and it's not really a split, same kind of like chain, but hams and glutes.
Okay.
Back thickness.
Yeah. I like working back. I like working back because I feel strong on everything I do. And if I feel strong, I feel good. That's what I like to do.
That goes hand in hand for sure. I think I like hams and glutes because for the longest time I never trained my hamstrings, like never. And I mean my glutes, they get worked regardless when you're squatting and whatever, but like I'd never like really isolate and like hammer down on my
wants his
hamstrings.
walnut glutes.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yep.
Butterfly glutes.
Shredded ass cheeks.
Like Ronnie Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking butterfly. Yeah. If anybody listening, if you train your glutes, they develop into butterfly wings. So that's what you want.
Pumpkins on your ass cheeks. Well, anyways, I definitely think we're polishing off this one. This one's been a long one, 2 hours 20 minutes.
Dang.
It's been fun.
And if you'd like to follow Ryan or any of us on social media, I'm going to drop it in the description below. Make sure you share it, comment, like it, and if you had any comments about the show, drop it in the comments below, obviously, and let us know what you'd like to see on the next one. We'll see you next time. The All or Nothing Show. We're out.